right, welcome back to the Great and Late IMNerd podcast, and
why are we late?
I don't know. We're actually early this week.
Yeah, we're not. We're great. We're not late.
This is the earliest we've ever been. Like, we're actually recording this on a Monday.
Not only early in terms of recording, we're early in terms of like we didn't listen. This movie just came out.
It just came out. I'm glad that you saw it today. So Kenny just got back from seeing Demon Slayer's new movie. What is it called? Infinity Castle Part 1, I guess, is what it's called.
Yeah.
I saw it last Thursday with like Luke Feeney, Gary Yu, my other friend Eric, and the four of us went to see it. It was awesome. It was like, I guess, kind of like a pre-release thing because it officially came out on Friday, September 12th, but we saw it on September 11th.
So I guess technically, if that's the case, this podcast is as early as it can be in terms of reviewing this movie.
Yes, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're very early in terms of, usually we don't do things until it comes out like on Netflix or HBO Max or something like that. Or if in the olden days when me and Kenny would get together and go see the movie, you know, like Spider-Man, I think we did something like that for.
Yeah. I mean, we can still do that sometimes. It just depends on if it's a good enough or exciting enough thing to see.
Right. I think we could do that with Demon Slayer maybe in the future. There are 2 more movies coming out. We could do that with Demon Slayer in the future if we plan it. I don't think we really planned for this one. Honestly, like I
didn't really realize it was coming out.
I
didn't realize it was coming out until Frazier in the one Discord was like going to see it. And then the day you were going to see it, I was at work. So I was like, I'm not even going to really respond.
It was a Thursday.
I'm going to be at work.
Yep.
And then I still wasn't sure if I was going to see it. And then I think literally like yesterday, I decided I'm going to see it today. And I was just like, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to go see it. And then we'll do a podcast on it.
Yeah, so I'm happy that all worked out. I want to say, just to give my like initial opinion of this movie, I think it was a good movie. Full stop. I think this Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie was actually really good. I liked that it was long. It was 2 hours and 35 minutes. It's one of the longest anime movies I've seen. So I love when movies are long. I think that movies need that, in my opinion, to be better on average when they are long. Like if you're longer, it gives you the opportunity to be better on average, in my opinion, or just my history of movies. 30 years of watching movies. I feel like longer movies have a higher chance of being a better movie than movies that are really short, that leave a lot of things open-ended, a lot of questions unanswered. This movie, I went into it knowing that it was a part 1 of 3. So immediately what I'm seeing on screen, I'm like, I know I'm going to see things that are going to be unresolved, and I am okay with that.
I knew it was a part 1. I don't think I knew at the time it was only 1 of 3. I didn't realize. I'm sure I've been told.
Oh, I forgot that it was 100% have. We talked about it on the podcast.
I know, but so okay. I want to say something too. I want to follow up to what Frazier said in the general overall thoughts, right? And it's my general quick thoughts of this movie and Demon Slayer. Some people might be like, "Oh God." Listen, out the gate, what I'm about to say is going to be positive. So if people know me, I don't tend to have nice things to say about Demon Slayer.
Yep.
Just want to let you know what I'm about to say is positive.
But that is not necessarily true. I'm going to cut you some slack because we have been kind to Demon Slayer for the first 2 seasons. We did not critique the first 2 seasons. They were just genuinely good. Like, we critiqued them where they needed to be critiqued, obviously. Very cliche storyline, blah, blah, blah. Go listen to those podcasts. Season 3, when it got revealed that Muzan was a vampire, and his entire story is just like some guy tricked him and poisoned him and made him a vampire, and he's been looking to be a daywalker this entire time. And that is the premise. Unless they reveal something else, like that is the premise.
There was a lot of pacing issues and stuff, But no, you're right though, because I genuinely like season 1. Season 1 made me cry, like actually cry.
Yep.
I thought season 2 was really cool.
Yep.
What'd you say?
No, I said me too. Yep.
Season 2 was really cool. I started to see like cracks in the armor. There was some more flaws with season 2 than season 1, but I still thought season 2 was really cool. Season 3 was also really cool. There's a lot of really cool stuff, but there was a lot more cracks, and I had a lot of issues with season 3. And generally, I think I'm seen as like a Demon Slayer hater by a lot of people. But I just want to say that like all critiques or whatever aside, I like what I like. But going into this movie, my point is, if anybody thinks I'm a hater or whatever, this movie, like Frazier said, I think it was genuinely good. I think Infinity Castle Part 1 was a really good movie. I liked it front to back, 2.5 hours, was not bored. I was interested the entire time. When it started getting close to the end, I was starting to get sad because I was like, I want to keep watching. Like, I don't want it to end. I thought it was really good. There's still overall issues with like Demon Slayer story as a whole.
Right, the overall story, not this movie necessarily.
But this movie was really good. And I don't think I'm really going to have much negative to say. I think most of this episode, I'm going to be saying positive things unless like I bring up something from an old season. But I think as it pertains to this movie, you're going to hear generally positive things from me. I liked it a lot.
So my favorite thing about this movie, because I was so afraid going into this that this was going to have the wrong tone. I think that the director, the writer, I think they nailed the tone that this first movie needed to have, which is just summed up in one word for me: dread. I love that this movie started off with a Hashira being murdered. I think that it set the tone for the next 2 hours after she died. She died in the first 30 minutes. I think starting off with one of the strongest swordsmen to exist, just flat out getting no diffed and toyed with by one of the head demons, is the correct way to lay the foundation for what we're going to see, because I did not want to leave the theater feeling like the good guys had a chance. I think it does a disservice to everything that they built up about Muzan and the upper moons. I did not like how season 3 had the 4 and 5 just die so easily. That was
the problem. Was like, these demons, I think what you're saying is spot on. In season 3, we've built up to this point. We get to the point we're at the upper moons. These are demons that have never been defeated in history. Like, they've never been defeated.
Right.
And then they get just straight up defeated by 2 Hashira. And then, like, these are 2 Hashira that, like, and this is kind of Demon Slayer as a whole, but we didn't really know these characters before the season started.
We just
showed up and they defeated 2 of arguably the strongest entities that existed throughout
hundreds of years of life, centuries.
And so, that's like, but then you get to this, and first of all, like you said, in the first 30 minutes, you have a Hashira, one of the strongest swordsmen in the world, period, dies. And not on top of that, the writing around that character was so fucking good. It was like, I definitely had heartstrings touched. Her story with, like, and we already knew a bit about her story, but it all comes to a conclusion here where this is so relatable, especially to me. I feel this in a lot of different ways, but, like, when you fight your whole fucking life for something, she spent her whole life trying to do something and fighting for something, and then just failed in the end. And that's, like, so fucking relatable, I think, to so many humans in real life, where there's something that you really want and you do everything you can to have it and you just can't have it. You just fail in the end. It's such a human thing. And so, like, I'm sad that she fucking died, and I'm sad that she didn't complete her mission. I'm sad she didn't complete her story, but, like, the end of her story is that she did everything she could.
She literally got told to try her best by her older sister. I think you're right in the sense that it's relatable. Sometimes you literally give it your best, as she was told by both Doma and the vision of her older sister. Give it your best. I don't care if your knees gave out, if your ribs have crumbled, if your throat has closed up and is coagulated with blood. I do not care. Get up and do your best. And Doma's cheering her on, as well as her older sister. I think that they just did a fantastic job opening the movie with this overwhelming feeling of fucking dread. And that is the premise of this entire first movie. And I think that that's a great intro, because the good guys, we need to feel like they don't have a shot at victory.
Yeah.
So for me to believe that this is
bad.
For me to believe that this is a good story, and the way they built up these upper moons and the way they built up Muzan to kill 2 of them in one season, like they did in season 3, and then for me, get to Infinity Castle. If they would have started also dropping here as well, I would have been like, all right, like, this is just not a good story, bro. Like, it's already sketchy. It has its issues. It's super cliche. It's not groundbreaking or anything other than graphics, honestly. Like, if I'm being completely honest, and we've had this opinion for a while now, but it's still good and enjoyable to watch. Like, you can enjoy things that are cliche.
On the note of the graphics, I just want to say, the animation, everything. So, legitimately, a tear was brought to my eye on sheer animation alone. There was a part where, like, and this happened to me when I was watching the Super Mario movie too. There's a part of me, especially that I'm older, there's a part of me that, like, I've been a fucking nerd my entire life. I'm just a slobbering nerd.
Yeah.
And being in a movie theater and watching an anime and it looked this fucking good, regardless of whatever my opinions are on any season of Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
The fact that I was in a movie theater watching an anime and it looked that fucking beautiful was just, like, pure happiness for me. It was just like, happiness for the slobbering nerd that I am.
Yeah.
It was just absolute happiness.
It is definitely the most beautiful anime movie I've ever seen so far. And that's, like, not hard for Demon Slayer to achieve that. Like, I'm going to say that. It's not a hot take, but I think out of every animated movie I've ever seen, I think Demon Slayer is very easily the best looking out of all of them. And this movie holds true to that as well. The animation was so good. In fact, when I found out that it was 2 hours, 35 minutes, which was right before I went to see it, by the way, I had no idea. So right before I went to see it, because Luke Feeney was saying I have to be somewhere at 8 o'clock. Our movie started at 5:15. I was like, ooh, 8 o'clock is gonna be like cutting it very close because the movie's gonna be an hour and a half. And then he was like, no, it's 2 hours and a half. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, it's 2 hours and a half. Like I might actually have to skip the end and like leave and then just watch the end on the internet or something like that. Which he ended up actually doing, by the way. He left at like 7:45 from the movie theater. Yeah, but I didn't know it was that crazy. I didn't know it was that long. My fear when I found out it was 2 hours and 30 minutes or whatever was, oh God, the animation might actually be kind of like, they might not have been able to animate it. I just think about what happened to Jujutsu Kaisen.
I get what you're saying, but they delivered, bro. Them motherfuckers crunched. I
pray for the animators who worked on Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Part 1. I'm hoping. I didn't see any bad headlines come out about the work conditions, but I'm just praying that they did not get the same treatment that happened to JJK animators season 2. Yeah. What happened to them is a travesty.
Season 2 and movie 0.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that, and I haven't heard anything, so I'm not accusing the Demon Slayer, animators of being working the same conditions and horrible, staying in the office, sleeping under a desk, all of the shit that they went through for JJK. I'm hoping that didn't happen. But when I heard it was 2 hours and 30 minutes, I was like, oh God, that is a lot to animate at the level that Demon Slayer likes to animate. And so then my fear was, well, maybe they'll just cut down on some of the fly animation. And when you get to Akaza versus Giyu, specifically when Giyu's mark shows up, the animation, I just rewatched that fight. The animation for when that mark shows up on Giyu's face and him and Akaza start fighting one-on-one, it is fucking scary. The frames, like every swing of the sword, every punch, every kick, every heel drop, every explosion, destructive, like it was so insane the way it just looked. Just talking about the graphics, it looked nuts. When he did the one thing where the water dragon came out and it started like pincer attacking Akaza and he started losing limbs. Like there was a part where Akaza's foot just flew into the screen. I was like, yo, this shit is wild, bro.
They were going so ham on the animation. Like there's so much, and it's so hard to talk about because it's animation, but there's so much like just so much crazy shit, sword swings and sound effects and like slow downs and about to punch somebody in half and the other one comes and fucking cuts their arm off and it's like holy and it's like they'll go from super fast like laser tracking animation and then slow down shots and it's oh my God, like it looked so beautiful and clean and colorful and hype. And Akaza versus those two, the Tanjiro and Giyu, was insane.
It was.
The girl
Shinobu,
right? That's her name, right?
Yep.
Shinobu, her attacks were awesome too. I love like the killer wasp and the centipede.
Insect breathing is cool as shit, bro.
Bro, when she did the centipede thing and he was like she's moving so fast, like I feel her on like everywhere. Like he couldn't keep up with her movements. She was fucking everywhere, and like you saw the centipede like around the screen and shit. Like she was doing her fucking big, and then she would like zip in. It would look like a killer bee like fucking going through his body. Like that shit was cool as hell looking.
I love it. I genuinely love the way everything looked. I also love Tanjiro being the best narrator. Like one of the things that makes Hunter x Hunter such a successful anime is the narrator. We've talked about this before, but Hunter x Hunter is goated for multiple reasons: animation, writing, character development, all those things, right? But one of the things that it just does as like a side thing is has this amazing fucking narrator going on. And as I was watching this Demon Slayer movie, Tanjiro, and this has always been a thing with Demon Slayer, Tanjiro is such a great animator because everything is in his head and he's so thoughtful. So a lot of times he's like, when the movie first starts and they're falling, he's like, if I touch the bottom, I'm going to die from crashing into it. I need to attack in order to get myself like on balance. Then he goes to try to do like water breathing art number 4 or whatever. And he's like, fuck, I'm still off balance because the fall, like the gravity from the fall is making it where I can't even get into the position to do the swing. And then Giyu comes down like a raindrop and just fucking swoops in, grabs him and Tanjiro, jump into one of the many castles, and then like saves Tanjiro's life. And just that opening alone with Tanjiro having his inner thoughts was amazing. But to your thing where you were saying about how there's slowdown moments where somebody's about to be literally punched in half, like there's a part where Akaza's about to do a backhand. And you see Tanjiro, his stomach is like right in the way of that, in the trajectory of that backhand. And you know that if that backhand touches Tanjiro's stomach, he will actually be cut in half by a fist. Like a fist will cut him in half. It'll be brutal, it'll be merciless, and I was sitting there like holding my breath because I was like, oh, it's so close. Like, how do you even dodge that? It's so like it was so close. It was about to touch the fucking belt of his gi. I was like, how is he going to dodge that? Like, how is he going to dodge that? But then, you know, arm gets cut off and shit like that. It was just so good.
Yeah. So many cool animation moments. Like there is like and then so I guess just so much. But
yeah, we're gonna be all over the place as usual, guys.
Another thing is like, because he hasn't been mentioned yet. And he wasn't in the movie that much, but like shout out to Zenitsu for not being annoying. You guys know I also hate on Zenitsu, but he was pretty cool in this episode. I still have my thoughts throughout the entire show about Zenitsu that are like up and down, but in this movie, Zenitsu is pretty cool. I remember at the end of season 3 when everybody drops into the castle, Zenitsu's like holding a letter, and I think he's holding the letter, and his face is like stone serious. You've never seen Zenitsu with a serious look on his face, and the way he has it, you don't really understand why. As you find out that Zenitsu has, I guess this is one small flaw at the movie, but it's not necessarily the movie's fault. It's more so, once again, Demon Slayer as a whole's fault. Because the thing I'm about to address is something that should have been addressed before this movie came out. So, but Zenitsu, you find out that in the letter, essentially, he finds out that his master just recently committed suicide. He committed seppuku, or however you pronounce it, which is ritual Japanese stomach cutting, where you take a small dagger and you like put it in your stomach and you like cut out your entrails and you die. Typically, if I understand correctly, usually after you do that, somebody else gives you the mercy of finishing you off and like cutting your head off or something so you don't suffer. Zenitsu points out that like he was alone. Their master was alone. So when he cut out his insides, he literally just had to like bleed to death. There was no one there to like end his suffering. So he just suffered. The reason why his master killed himself is because amongst his pupils, he had like 2 top pupils. One was Zenitsu, who was only ever able to master the first form of thunder breathing. The other one was, I don't know how to say his name, like Kaigaku or whatever.
Yeah.
And he mastered forms 2 through 6. And there's only 6 forms of thunder breathing. He couldn't master form 1. He can only do 2 to 6, and Zenitsu could do 1. So Zenitsu did 1, the other one did everything else. He felt like he was above Zenitsu, but because between the 2 of them, they mastered everything, they were both named the successors of Thunder Breathing. So anyway, this guy goes off, he like turns on them or whatever. Their master kills himself because he becomes a demon. The other guy becomes a demon, and out of shame that he trained a person who became a demon, that somebody he trained thunder breathing to became a demon, out of shame, he killed himself. So Zenitsu reads this letter, and this puts him in all like no bullshit mode.
Yep.
All that bullshit of him being scared when he's awake, like all of that shit goes away. Like he completely like centers himself, becomes one whole person. There's no more like awake and sleep Zenitsu.
Yeah.
Like, he is one Zenitsu now, and he comes in on some serious fucking shit. The only thing I'll say, because I pretty much liked this movie front to back. The only issue I have isn't with this movie, it's with Demon Slayer as a whole. I wish that other student was just introduced earlier.
Me too.
I wish I knew, like, if that student was just a character before today, that would have been,
I was a little confused
so much
by
better
him.
for the writing.
Yeah, coming out of absolutely nowhere, already being a demon with a sword. I was like, okay, we know of a demon with a sword because number 1 is a demon with a sword. But like, again, him coming out of complete nowhere for our purposes and then being the upper 6 replacement, I was like, okay, that is interesting to say the least. Like a new character that now I understand Zenitsu has an entire past with this guy and they're going to duke it out. The fight was amazing. Seeing all the thunder breathing techniques from 2 through 6.
Yeah,
they are ridiculous. Like what they actually do to you.
Secret 7 technique.
Yeah, Secret 7, which got made by Zenitsu, was really cool. I like how thunder breathing. Well, I didn't know that it would take this form, but it's like status effects. Like what it does to you is literally a lot of shit that it lingers. Like it has a bunch of lingering things. Like this is burning blood, and once this thunder's on your body, your blood starts to boil in that spot, and it starts to crackle your skin as it works throughout your body, and like you'll just start to die over time from just having the burning blood, thunder effect on you. That shit is fire. No pun intended.
Yeah, it's cool because it's like if I understood it correctly, I think I understand it the same way you do. And they talk about how Form 1 is the foundation of thunder breathing, and that's the only one that's like an actual direct attack.
Yeah.
The rest of the forms are like these additional effects. And so it's almost like if thunder breathing in its complete form essentially uses Form 1 in conjunction with all of the other forms.
Correct.
So it's like this really fast direct attack with all of these like status effects that come from the other forms. And only between the pupils, they can only master like the 2 sides of the coin there. But yeah, if it was awesome. Animation was great, but it would have hit so much harder if we knew that character existed beforehand. We knew he was a person beforehand. They had a rivalry beforehand. And then in this movie, he gets reintroduced and it's like, holy shit, he's a fucking demon now.
That would have shocked me a lot.
That would have been sick.
What I will say is, I'm hoping I have it right because it's a little foggy in my head. There's a lot of backstories in this movie, which I don't mind, and we'll talk about that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
The way Upper Six gets turned into a demon, was it by the number one Upper Moon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That scene, Kenny, of the number one Upper Moon looking down at the thunder-breathing pupil or whatever, and him being like, here is the blood from that man. If you spill even a fucking drop of it, I'm going to cut every part of your body into nothingness immediately.
Yep. Before the drop of blood hits the ground, you will be dead.
Yes.
If you drop a drop before the drop hits the ground, you will be dead.
He gave him one of those like speeches that was given to Inoue in Bleach when she was taken by the number 4 Espada.
Yep.
Just like, if you try to do anything, you're going to die. If you try to do this, you beg for mercy, you scream, you do any. It was one of those like, oh, so there's no other choice. And what's crazy is like, okay, so I was trying to put myself in this position. This is what I do all the time with these ridiculous scenarios that are only in movies or anime. You are faced with a force that you know for a fact can kill you at any moment. It is way stronger than you, way more terrifying than you. The air around it, everything about it, you know, dreadful. I can't even possibly imagine fighting back, right? It is going to kill you like it killed everything else in this area. For whatever reason, it has taken a slight liking to you because maybe you're a strong warrior or maybe you accomplish something that it finds interesting and it just wants to see how you react to the blood. So it gives you an opportunity to now say, will you become a demon and fight for our cause, or will you just perish like the rest of the humans that I've killed around you in a horrific way?
Mm-hmm.
It would be hard for me to say that I would not immediately be like, I'm down with becoming a demon because I don't want to die, because self-preservation is a really big thing. Just the way humans cannot really purposely drown themselves in a bathtub, right? You can drown yourself. You walk in the ocean, you know, you'll get drowned because the ocean is the ocean. But in your bathroom,
you're going to run out of energy. There's nothing you can do.
Right. It's much easier to do it. If you go into your bathroom, though, it is incredibly difficult for a person to like drown themselves in their bathtub without at some point just fighting for their life. And so I think about in that scenario, I'm on my knees, I'm groveling, and I think that this guy's just going to kill me anyway. But then he offers me this opportunity, he gives me this blood. I put my hands out and it's in my hand. I'm looking at it like, once I do this, there's no going back. I am a demon and I'm going to be killing humans for the rest of my existence. And that is just what my life is going to be. And sure, I won't be dead in the sense that like, you know, human dies, that's it. We don't know what happens afterwards. You know, that's just it. But my humanity will be dead. Like, I see what demons do. Yeah. Demons are a known thing. Given that choice, I feel like I absolutely would end up becoming a demon if I'm being honest, because I'm just so afraid of dying in that horrific way.
I would too. I would definitely become a demon. There's something he said that like I definitely agree with. Even though the character was introduced and he had a very short time on screen, there was a very fast version of his backstory. Like, he grew up poor, etc. But the overall theme of his character and what he believed in was like, as long as you're alive, you can eventually win.
Yep.
It doesn't matter how much you lose. As long as you're alive, like, eventually you can win. And so that's why he drinks the blood and becomes a demon, because like his philosophy of life is like, it's either die now and I'm dead.
Yep.
Or like do this, continue to live, and then like maybe one day I win. And
Yeah, I really like the fact that he had and you said relatable earlier when you were talking about like just a lot of the things in this movie, people not winning all the time, like Shinobu, who, you know, she's a Hashira, her sister was killed, she wants to redeem and get revenge. She fails miserably. And like, that is reality. It's relatable. That guy who's the opposing figure to Zenitsu is very relatable in the sense that I think a lot of people, whether you're willing to say it right now, or you only would say it when it's in front of you, a lot of people would make the same choice. It's easy to be like, I would never become a demon. I would never start, you know. Yeah. It's easy to say that when you're not faced with it. They say, a lot of people, one of the funny, you know, internet things is like, would you suck a dick for $1 billion? And a lot of guys, especially the super hetero, like, you know, I never suck a dick for $1 billion. But then, obviously, if there were actually $1 billion in your face, in briefcases laid out in a room, and you're like, damn, that is actually enough money. We're talking about life-changing money.
I might suck a dick for $50K. Just like,
Okay.
I'm bringing the number way down. I'm gonna bring the number way down. I'm gonna throw it out there for y'all. Right?
This always happens, by the way. There's always the one guy who starts lowering the price for no reason. There's always the guy who, like, no one said that you had to take less, but they always just go low, and they go absurdly low. Like, you could have been like, I'll do it for half, which is like,
in my head. So I want you to know that happened. In my head, I was like, I'm gonna say 500K. And then I
500 million, it would be.
Oh yeah, 500 million.
I said $1 billion. So
a
half is $500 million.
Fuck it. But I was in my head. I was like, I'll do 500K. I was like, I'll do 100K. 100K would change my life. I'll do 50K. Fuck it. 50K.
And then we just ended up with 50K.
Yeah, I don't think I'd go lower than 50. But the offer's out there. You show up with a briefcase. Who knows? I mean, I'm just saying.
You cannot solicit on this podcast. You cannot do that. I don't know. Cut this out. Cut this part out. Cut this out. Cut this part out. Cut that out. So yeah, like, that guy's relatable. And I think that when faced with something as dreadful as death in your face, and you have an option to live on and take on a new life, in a sense, like, I think I would do it realistically. Self-preservation is a big part of humanity.
I agree with you, and there's like two sides to this coin for me, but I fully agree with you. And I think I'm interested to see what you say about this. I think you might even agree with what I'm about to say. Let's say it's just me. I'm just who I am. In that situation, 10 times out of 10, I take the demon blood, right?
Yeah.
I take the demon blood, self-preservation, I want to live. The only way I see that being different is if I was already like Vegeta, and I got beaten down, and it's like my pride is there. I've already worked for all, and then it's like, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I die here, I die here. I wasn't worth going any further. Like, I could see that if I was already like the shit. I was already like a fucking super fighter.
Right.
But if I'm
Rengoku,
just me,
basically.
I was like, if I was one of those, Rengoku, exactly. If I was like one of those other Demon Slayer guys that usually suck, like, I'm
fucking
drinking the blood, bro.
So bad too.
I'm drinking the blood. But if I'm Hashira level, I'm not drinking the blood.
Even in this movie, the fucking randoms it was like two of them to cut off one head.
Yeah, there was a bunch of random. Hey, they were putting in work though.
They were. I love that.
They needed help, but they were putting in work.
I love that they knew how to help each other though. Like, there was that one real big demon that showed up. Like, he was just big for no reason, just big and dumb. And you know what, Hashira would have not even gave him the time of day. But obviously the cronies had to like all come together to do a team attack. And they accomplished it. One of them like tripped it. The other one like slashed an arm or something. And then the other two cut off its head. And I was like, damn, it took a lot. But they did.
It took a lot.
They did fell the big dumb demon. So
that was awesome. That was cool. Yeah. Whereas like the Wind Hashira,
he's like, literally sitting like in cross-legged
ribbons.
He's like, bring me an upper moon right now. I love him. Sanemi, I'm so glad that all we got of him is that one scene where he's just sitting cross-legged on a fucking mat. A bunch of demons swarm him, and he just slices one, and the wind takes out everything in his vicinity. He's like, there's a bunch of you lowlifes. Bring me an upper moon right now. Like, that shit is so fire. I love that guy.
My guess, real quick, is that like we got this movie. I think the next movie is where they kill a 1 and 2, and then like the last movie is like all Muzan. Right?
That's what I imagine as well. Especially if they're the same length. Yes.
Yeah.
I think 1 and 2 have to die in the next movie. However they die, I think Guillaume is going to obviously be a big part of that. He's the strongest Hashira, as we know.
Yeah.
And maybe the Miss Hashira is also up there too, because I know he's a prodigy. He became a Hashira in 1 month. Yep. So I feel he's running with Guillaume. So I feel like was his Yachiru or something? I forget his name. That Yachiru is the girl from Bleach. His name is, I forget. The Miss Hashira. The Miss Hashira.
Oh, I don't remember his name. Is it like Toki? I forget. I don't remember his name.
Let me see. Let me just Google.
I almost said Ukitake. I don't think that's his name either.
His name is Muichiro Tokido. There you go.
Tokido. Okay.
Yeah, Muichiro. Because he has a brother named Yuichiro, I think. Remember, he was like a twin or something. Yeah. They reveal later on. Anyway, he's running with Guillaume the whole movie. They don't really do much. They just kind of like run together. And he also
they're going to be rumbling in the next movie. The love girl and the snake guy are going to be rumbling in the next movie, I assume.
And the snake guy is in love with the love girl, and he like protected her from she didn't even have to fight when they landed. He just was like, don't even put your hands on her, and he went crazy. I liked his breathing too, the serpent breathing.
Yeah, all the breathing's sick. The animation's crazy. Like when every single character look, because I don't think anybody, like, you think of lightning breathing, right? Yeah. Fire breathing. Oh, that's sick. I don't want insect breathing. But now I'm like, yo, Let me get some insect breathing.
Insect breathing is fire because she takes on the form of these different insects, and then it's so cool. And she's fast, which we didn't really know that was like her thing. But she's extreme. She's like the fastest Hashira that Doma's ever seen.
She flash steps and put her sword through his eye. And like that shit, like when her sword went through his eye off that flash step, I was like, oh shit.
Because he was mid-sentence.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, like you missed, you weren't able to cut me. And then the next sentence, his fucking eye had a sword through it. And he was like, holy shit, she's fast. Like, she's the fastest Hashira I've ever come across in my life. And he's been around for a long ass time. I mean, he's the one who created the number 6 upper moon before Daki. He created her and the brother. Like, Doma is the one. At that time, I think he was upper 6. And then he ended up making like them, one of the demons. And then eventually, I guess he gets promoted because he consumes a bunch of humans. And then they become upper 6 or whatever. I love the hierarchy. I love knowing that he's one that we saw a number that was lower than his current number, so you blatantly saw him rise through the ranks. In a way.
Yeah. And so he helps confirm that that's possible, that they don't just they're not just born where they're at.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they get stronger and they can get stronger and progress. And his backstory was cool. Once again, there's a lot of backstories. His backstory was cool. It wasn't that long, but at least what we saw so far, we might see more. But he was just he was born when he was a human, he had white hair and rainbow eyes as a human.
Yes.
And his parents were and rightfully so, honestly. If your kid has silver hair and rainbow eyes, his parents were like, oh, you are connected to the Buddha. Like you have a connection to God. And so as a child, he saw all of these adults crying at his feet, telling their fears and their worries and their woes to him. And he had this perspective of how pitiful they are, all the sadness they have. They think that I have some connection that I can help them. But he had this empathy, I guess, that he took on their pain and accepted it.
Empathy.
And then it definitely got really twisted where it turns into his version of freeing them and bringing them happiness is to just kill them because human life is suffering.
Yeah, I love his backstory. Like you said, it's short, but he's one of my favorite villains. So I think that for me, he's my favorite part of this movie. Because I've always been interested in Doma specifically. The way he talks, the way he acts, he's the exact kind of villain that I like. He is sadistic. He's sadistic in nature. He is menacing. He's also powerful enough to back up everything that he says or doesn't say. And he likes to toy with things. He's my exact kind of villain. He's an Eisen style of villain where he doesn't take you seriously, but it doesn't matter that he doesn't take you seriously because he's never actually caught off guard, even though he pretends you got him. He likes to pretend you fucking got me with that one.
He's definitely a problem. He's super cocky. His I don't know too much about his techniques yet. I don't know if it's just ice, but he uses ice and he what was cool is that because I've been there. If you've ever worked out in the cold, if you went running in the cold, there's a part where he does this ice mist and it gets cold in the area and Shinobu is breathing and she's I feel my lungs burning from the ice. Yep. If you ever try to heavy breathe in the cold, it hurts so fucking much on your lungs. Yeah, it feels bad. And so I like that. I like his techniques. The ice and creating the icy fucking mist and everything.
That was his first thing he did too. When she first came in, the very first thing he did was open up his fans and open up his cloak, and a wave of icy mist came out, and she immediately started talking about how her throat felt like it was on fire. That was the first thing he did, and he was commending her on how she was able to dodge a good portion of it. He's one of those villains that's oh, I meant to cut you in half just now, but it seems like I missed. He's one of those kind of guys that just says wild shit like that. I love how they introduced him in this movie. So we already saw this guy before twice. We saw him at the Upper Moon meeting where he put his hand on Akaza, which I think is so brilliant because now I understand Akaza's actual power is the compass where you can't really touch him.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, number 2 likes to taunt people, and I didn't think much of it at the time, but I did take note of it that he put his hand on Akaza and Akaza knocked his head off. And one, I'm number 2, you're number 3. I'm stronger than you is known. We have it on our eyeballs. But he also liked to rub it in. Even when his head got knocked off, he said, oh, Akaza's that's just how he is. Mr. Akaza is always so angry. But not taking Akaza's so mad too. Not taking him seriously, and he number 2 just regrows his head. Doma just regrows it and is laughing and smiling. And then obviously number 1 comes in and they all prostrate themselves. And it's this big epic moment, but you understood from right there, that one is a menace. I knew he was a menace right there. And then obviously the other time you see him is when Daki and her brother are about to die. and they show how they even became demons in the first place. Doma's the one that ran into them centuries ago, and he turned them. So I already knew going into it that he was going to be a problem. I didn't know that they were going to have him be a big part of the Infinity Castle already, but like in the first 30 minutes, Shinobu's walking around. She's like, what is this place? She finds a place. She's like, it smells like blood. She walks into this room, and it's one of those beautiful, like Japanese castle rooms with like a lake inside of it and a bridge, and it has trees. And it's just like such a beautiful room. But when she walks in, her eyes get big and she sees across, he's sitting down with 3 younger girls, right? 3 of the like healing girls or whatever, the ones that'll like, you know, carry you around when you're fucked up and you need to be nursed back to health. 3 of them are laid out, covered in blood. They usually were all white, so they're covered in blood. And you hear him literally like chewing on their body. Like he puts down a body part and he turns around, there's like blood all over his mouth, and you hear the sounds of somebody chewing something. And he's like, oh my God, you're so young and pretty. You look so tasty. And that's like the first thing he says.
Yep.
And then he says, I should really thank number 4, which I don't remember her name, but he says, whatever the name of number 4, starts with an N, I think. But he's like, I don't
know her name, but she's the Biwa woman. Like
exactly.
She's the one that essentially creates the Infinity Castle.
Yes. Which we have to talk about that too. But yeah, he's like, I need to thank her for this glorious day, like for all these meals. And I was like, oh God, Shinobu's going to die. I was like, Shinobu's going to die because there's no way Shinobu, who cannot cut off someone's head at all, is going to be able to beat number fucking 2, bro. They put her against...
Yeah, she did her thing though, man. She did her fucking thing. but
did you... Okay, man. I'm sure, because you're perceptive. You're very perceptive. I'm sure you knew there was no shot, right? Going into it.
Well, I won't say assumed, but I hoped. I didn't think any. Okay, so first of all, there's only 3 demons left, really, in terms of like the actual fight. There was 3, 2, and 1, and then obviously this moves on, but like we're not getting it.
Yeah.
And there's like a lot more Hashira than there are those demons. So I knew every single fight, in order for it to be won, like no one's winning 1-on-1. So when she was with him 1-on-1, I knew she can't beat him 1-on-1.
Right.
I was hoping somebody would show up. I was hoping somebody.
I thought somebody was going to show up too. I didn't know who, but I was thinking, I hope someone shows up, because if this is a 1-on-1, and I kept realizing at first I couldn't tell if other people could like hear them fighting, and then I realized how big the Infinity Castle was.
It's huge.
And I said, oh, no one even knows they're fighting. Like you could be fighting someone hundreds of miles away.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You could be fighting in Philly and somebody else is fighting in fucking California.
Yeah. And to her credit, though, like I truly don't think, I mean, you know, maybe I'll be wrong. We'll find that next movie. I truly don't think a single Hashira there could beat him 1-on-1.
Me either. I agree with you. I agree 100%. After seeing what Akaza can do, I'm like, oh, so if Akaza is blatantly, and like this is not one of those bullshit things like the Espada where Grimjaw was number 6 and like this guy Baragon is number 2, but in reality Ukiura was actually stronger than like most of the Espada.
It's not that.
This is not that bullshit where the Espada's numbers
Doma is stronger than Akaza, point blank period.
yeah. So like, so we're establishing that framework that Doma is stronger than Akaza. Seeing the first part of this movie, I'm like, oh, there's no shot they could take this guy. There's no shot. 1v1ing, like you said, I agree. 1v1ing any of them, mark or not. Giyu still didn't do anything with his mark. He just got faster, and it didn't mean anything at the end of it.
Okay, so Tanjiro and Giyu versus Akaza, first of all, immaculate. Beautiful. The fight, animation, everything, the pacing of the fight, the ups and downs, this person being knocked out, them fighting. Hey, what's your name? I want to know your name. You're not worth knowing my name. Tanjiro's like, Giyu, are you okay? In that moment, Giyu got fucked up 72 miles away. Yeah. He says, Giyu, are you okay? Akaza is in Tanjiro's face. Thank you for telling me his name. Fucks Tanjiro up. Like, bro, they are on some shit. Like, that fight goes crazy. There's all this back and forth. The 2 of them. Tanjiro's doing some crazy sun breathing shit. Yep. Giyu is like a water breathing master. They're doing everything just so everybody's clear. They still didn't win it.
No, they didn't. Like, they didn't win.
Like, they never win that fight.
They cut off his head and still lost. Yeah. They cut off his head and still lost the fucking fight, bro. Like, if he didn't have such good pride about him, they would just be dead. Like, because I was debating this in my head, so I was like, I guess they, Tanjiro did factually cut his head off, but I was like, well, that doesn't matter if cutting his head off was not actually victory, though. Like, it's only a win if that is how you win, right?
Yeah,
because also you could argue number 6, she got her head cut off and then her fucking brother sprouted, and it was like, if you don't kill both of us at the same time, you didn't win. So
it's been established at this point, when you're fighting an upper moon, cutting their head off might not be enough.
And I think
there might be an extra step.
And I do think that going forward, and I'm glad they established this seasons ago, so it's not like a complete ass pull, but I do think going forward, do not expect Doma and fucking Kira, whatever that guy's name, number 1, do not expect them to die from a beheading. If Akaza can will himself back to life from nothing, insane.
Because he's so strong. Because they were saying, because it was so cool, the movie opens up, and this was already said, I think, in the previous season, but the movie opens up with this with, what's the name of the number 1 Hashira? Like the strongest Hashira? Guillaume's talking to the master, and he's like, listen, I'm going to sacrifice myself. I'm going to blow up Muzan. I'm going to try to, you have to cut his head off. But just so you know, I don't think he's going to die by cutting his head off. I don't think that's going to kill him. If it doesn't work, you're going to have to fight him until the sun comes up, and you can't let him get away. And then so when they're fighting Akaza, there's a point where his head gets cut off, and I think Giyu says like, oh fuck, is he like Muzan? Is cutting his head off not enough? Like, did he like overcome that or whatever? And then he just fucking starts growing his head back.
Because the body by itself does not disintegrate. His head completely vanishes, but the body stays around. And then the body like gains consciousness and looks at a sleeping Tanjiro and starts going towards Tanjiro while Giyu's like, holy shit, he's going to kill Tanjiro. And Giyu he's on bended knee, being held up only by his broken sword. He is like literally he's not holding himself up. He's on his fucking broken blade, kneeling on the ground like, yo, get over here. Don't fuck with him. Come kill me. Like, fight me instead. Like, I still got some fight in me. And then it turns around and looks at him, and it looks over at Tanjiro sleeping, and it's like, I could just do both. Like, I could just do you both.
I could just do both. I'm still here. Dude, to backpedal a little bit on this fight, there was a part that was so sick. When Giyu goes and then fucking Akaza like dips to the side and fucking breaks his sword with like the way he hits it with his knuckle, breaks his sword and then goes to put his fist through Giyu's absolute chest. He's going to put his whole fist through that man's body. And then Tanjiro did like the thing, like the you can't sense me thing, and cuts his arm off just in time. So like the arm's not long enough to go through Giyu's body.
Yeah.
Like that was such
it still
a
hit him,
cool,
I think,
like,
too, which is
moment.
crazy.
It still hit him, but it didn't go through his fucking
the
chest.
impact wasn't what it would have been if it was connected to his body.
Yeah, fucking crazy.
That was a wild part.
Wild.
So we before we even jumped into this Akaza thing, we can go back to that. I want to go back to Shinobu versus Doma because I
100%. We're jumping.
This was my favorite part of the movie because I love the way he is. Like, okay, so she comes in, horrific scene. He's eating little girls, and what I love is he's explaining his like sadistic ways and how he's like, oh, like this is what I do to save people. He's like, I'm saving them right now, and then she tries to save the person that he's currently, because the one girl's alive. Like, there's one girl who's like, help me, please, Shinobu, like begging for her life. So Shinobu flash steps and like gets the little girl before he can actually do any, like he's about to kill her. When Shinobu flash steps, Doma pulls out a fan instantly. And this is how I know he's actually very sadistic, because he knows he's strong. He knows how ridiculously powerful he is. He likes to take away your hope is a thing. Is like, you could just tell that's like he's very sadistic in that way. So when she flash steps, he's all smiles and shit before that. When she flash steps over, he gets this like angry face, pulls out a fan, and this all happens in a split second. Pulls out a fan and tries to cut the fucking girl in half. Shinobu's so fast that she blitzes it and saves the girl. And then Shinobu was like, you're safe now. And he's like, wow, you're really fast. That's insane. Congratulations. You were able to like, you were able to move that fast. And then Shinobu goes to start talking to the girl again. And the girl's body just gets fucking diced up in Shinobu's arms. And I was like, oh no. And the fucking music, that like dreadful music started playing, like, wow. And you just realize, and he's just looking at her like, look at that bloody human. You might as well give her back to me now. Like, I was just going to enjoy that. When that
girl, don't worry, I'll clean that up.
When that girl got sliced up like that in Shinobu's arms, I was like, that is so good, because again, you cannot save people. Sometimes it just doesn't actually work out like that. Sometimes people fucking die in a war. That's just reality.
Yeah.
It's dark.
It was brutal, man. Like that was a brutal scene. And she gave it her everything. She poisoned them. And I like that thing, like she poisoned them and then she sheaths her sword and like clicks and like it's her like changing the poison in the sheath or whatever.
I also like how they explain. So the changing the poisoning is amazing. I like how they explain that she is testing this out on an upper level. She's never, remember, they laid the foundation. They have never encountered Muzan or an upper level before ever.
Yeah.
So the Hashiras have never encountered this. Tanjiro is the only person who's actually encountered an upper moon or Muzan ever in, like, none of the Hashiras currently have done that. So
yeah, I think to clarify too, to go even further, it's not that Hashiras have never encountered an upper level. It's that every Hashira that's ever encountered an upper level is dead.
Correct.
Because the upper levels talk about like, oh, I've killed 82 Hashiras
all the time.
Like, so it's it's that if a Hashira is alive, it's because they haven't seen an upper level.
Correct. They do not survive these encounters, and now we can see why. So it's really cool to me that like she doesn't know if her poison will even be effective on this person, and she's trying to test it in the moment, which I already knew. I was like, this is such a bad time to be testing, like doing scientific experiments. She's like, I know it works on lower levels, but I really want to see if it works on upper level, and then I'll adjust from there. She tries it on the initial poison, and it fucks his body up real bad. He looks all grotesque for a second, and then he quickly just gets rid of it. Like it just, he repels it. He's completely fine. And he's like clapping like, that was so amazing. Wow, your poison's really, really good. Why don't you try the next one? Is that what you're doing right now? The clicking of the sword and the sheathing? That sound that it just made? Is that you remixing the poison? I just love how he constantly is praising people as they try to fight him. Like he's just, he's like, oh my God, you should
disrespectful, bro.
It is so disrespectful. He's so gross, man. I love his outfit. Like I love the rainbow eyes. Even the backstory with her sister, I thought was amazing. Where it's like, how does she even know that it's him? And her sister's dying words when she's saying, "Tell me who it was. Tell me right now. Like, don't fucking die on me without letting me know. Let me avenge you." And her sister's like, he had white hair and it looked like blood was being poured over top of it. Like, And then they show him again in the present time when Shinobu's staring at him and she's pissed. And she notices like the red, I don't even know what it is, but like the top of his hair has like this red, looks like blood, basically.
I think it's just a discoloration of his hair. I could be wrong. Maybe it's like a hat of some sort, but I think it's just, because I think his hair was always white or silver. I think maybe when he became a demon, it got like that blood splatter pattern on top of it. That's just what I think.
It looks cool as shit though. I mean, it does look like some kind of religious hat style thing, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of religious people wear hats, no matter what religion it's from. There's like, you know, all types of different religious hats. And it looks like that's kind of the one of his cult church thing. But they give the backstory. We already knew that her sister died. Tanjiro said very early on in like season 1 or 2, I can sense an anger in you. Like I feel like you're always angry. And they actually did a little callback to that scene where they're sitting on the roof.
Yeah.
And she explains like, yo, I lost my older sister in this line of work being a demon slayer. And I've been pissed about it ever since.
And it's something that not many people notice necessarily because she has such a big sister vibe.
Yep.
And she's like so nice to so many people. And Tanjiro
really
was able
soft.
to pick. Yeah. And Tanjiro was able to pick up like, you're angry. And she's like, she's the Hulk. She's like, I am always angry.
Yeah, I'm
like
furious.
I am always angry. And why wouldn't I be? Right. And in this movie, they go through it again where she explains like, of course I'm angry. My sister's dead. My family's dead. My apprentices, their whole family's dead.
Yeah.
Like all these people that are dead. And it's like, it's my job to like put it, dude, it's brutal.
She was saved by Guillaume too, which is interesting. When she was a little girl, her and her sister were like huddled in a corner at night and these demons were ravaging their little village or whatever, just killing everybody. And these two are about to be killed next. And then Guillaume comes in and obviously saves the day before they get killed. But she always talked about how small she was. And that's like a big thing too. She was like, man, the reason why I can't cut demons' heads off is because I've always been so small. And if I was just like a little bit bigger, like even my older sister, she's not that much bigger than me, but she could behead a demon because she just has like more muscle. And they explain how to, you know, just having longer arms and longer legs. It's muscle. It's all technically just muscle. You know, at a very like basic level, I'm just bigger than you, so I'm stronger than you by default. Like if you're 5'1" and I'm 6'7", even if I didn't train in the gym and you did, like I'm probably just going to be stronger than you for the most part because I'm just more mass than you. I have more weight than you. And at the end of the day, weight is power. And in this world, obviously it's anime, so like everything is extreme. So just being a little bit bigger than her would make a huge difference, it sounds like she was saying, and she can't behead them because she's so small. He even makes a note, Doma makes a note of how small she is. He's like, you're so small, you can't cut off my head, can you? He's so perceptive.
Like, you did so good. Like, you tried so hard. I'm so proud of you. Like, when she does the final thing, which was so sick, when she fucking rams the blade through his neck to try to, like, kill him, like, poison and cut his neck off, and rams him into the ceiling, and then, like, she falls, she doesn't finish him off, and then he grabs her and brings her back up and hugs her, like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Like,
I love how much humans, just like as frail and weak as you all are, you try to the very bitter end. That's so commendable. He is so diabolical. I cannot wait to see what they do with his character, because honestly, the number one guy is like, okay, obviously, yes, number one, he's going to be stronger than number two and everybody else and all that stuff. Second only to Muzan. I get it. He looks like Tanjiro. I get it. He has 6 eyes.
I don't remember if it's been confirmed or not yet. I think, but like, he's obviously was a demon slayer.
100%,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's been confirmed or not yet. I can't remember. But like, he's clearly a demon slayer.
Yeah, we know. But like, he, I get it. He's stronger and all that stuff, but he does not interest me nearly as much right now as Doma does. I'm just so much more interested. The
main interest I have in him is that he kind of looks like Tanjiro.
Yes,
like, his hair kind of looks similar to like Tanjiro's hair, and he's got the marking. Although the marking's not unique to Tanjiro anymore. It's like all the Hashiras have it, but like, he does have like the marking. And yeah, he's got like hair similar to Tanjiro. So that's like my main interest, but like, I don't really know. And like in season 2, when Daki got scared of Tanjiro, I feel like it showed a swordsman, and the swordsman it showed to me looked like number 1.
Yep.
Like, if you go back and look at it.
So does the doll. The doll they found in season 3 looks like him as well.
Yeah. The
doll that has looks like six arms. And it, Yep. So there's something going on. I don't know if this is a coincidence,
but he has 6 eyes. I don't know if that, I don't know. But
there's something going on, and they're going to reveal it in one of the movies, and it's going to hopefully.
I agree. Right now, number 2 is more interesting.
Yeah, number 2 I even like the backstory they gave him. We touched on it very briefly, but like, his parents essentially monetized his eyes and hair color as a child, and he had rainbow eyes and white hair, close to the Buddha. They figured out a way that they could create a cult-like church and essentially milk it. Like, they milk their son. So they're just sitting their son on top of a pillow in this beautiful temple area that they made, and they send people in. They charge people, obviously. They send people in to get blessed by this kid who has no actual powers or anything. He cannot affect these humans at all. He cannot end their suffering. He cannot bring their loved ones back to life. He cannot cure their sickness. But he still pretends, by just like not doing anything really, but besides appearing as a deity, to be able to do something for these people. And a lot of times that's all humans need, is a little bit of hope that they can just go back to their life, right? Well, like you said, these people discussed him even when he was a kid. He was like, I always found them so pathetic. Like, these grown individuals are coming to me, a child, and they're just laying at my feet all of their problems. Like, you know how terrible that is, how horrible that is to do to a kid. And my fucking parents are incompetent. They think that this is okay. So he has disdain for his parents, even as a child. And he has disdain for the humans, the grown adults who are coming to him looking for salvation. And he's like, I've always like hated how fragile and pathetic humans were. But like, I still did my duty, basically. I still did it. And then we don't get to see how he got turned, I don't think. Not yet. We're not going to find out till he dies, probably. Cannot wait to see that.
Tends to be what happens. That's like, and once again, zero issues with this movie, pretty much. Any issue I have is something that kind of predates this movie and just in Demon Slayer as a whole.
Yeah.
In this movie, I know it's a big contention. A lot of people didn't like the backstories. I even heard people in my theater complain about the backstories, and I'll get to that in one moment.
That's crazy.
Overall, I liked the backstories a lot. My only small issue with it is, especially when it comes from the side of the demons, and this has just been true for the entirety of Demon Slayer, and I've had a problem with it for pretty much all of Demon Slayer, is that it's done the same way every time. It's that we don't learn anything about these characters until they're dead. Like, it's after their head gets cut off and they're dead, then we get their full fucking backstory and learn everything about them. And like, for example, Akaza, I thought his backstory could be a movie on its own. Like, his backstory, I thought was fucking incredible. He's this poor kid who grows up poor. His father is like deathly ill. He's so skinny, you can see his spine like a dinosaur.
Yeah.
And he's super sick. So Akaza goes out and he steals and he commits thievery in order to like get medicine and money in order to take care of his dad. And he doesn't care. Like, he gets stronger. He doesn't mind doing that. He wants to keep getting stronger and keep doing that. It's not really a burden to him. He is fine with the life that he has and taking care of his dad. He gets punished for it, gets beaten, bloody, all this stuff. He gets tattoos on his arms.
I love that. That's where the tattoos came from, by the way.
Yeah. He gets these tattoos to mark that he's a criminal, and they're like, you now have 3 on both arm, like for stealing. Like I think that tattoo was specific to being a thief. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what they make it sound like.
If you do it again, we're gonna cut your hands off. And he's like, do it. I don't fucking care. I'll steal with my feet. And
he literally says that on all bullshit.
So he goes home and he finds out his dad commits suicide, and he leaves a note, and he basically says like, I want you to live an honest life. I don't want you to like live this tortured life for me. And he cries and he's like, why would my dad think that? Like I don't care that he's sick. Like I want to take care of him. Like I would do anything for my dad. He's sick. I'll do anything to take care of him. Like whatever. He goes on to like beat the shit out of a bunch of people, like etc. He gets taken in by this broken ass dojo master.
Yep.
Taken in by him. He beats the shit out of him. He introduces him to his daughter. His daughter's also really sick, and Akaza ends up taking care of this daughter. And there's this really awesome moment there too, where like she's apologizing for being sick, and Akaza has this thought to himself as he's a human. He's like, it's not fair that sick people always feel the need to apologize. They always apologize. They say, sorry, I'm sorry for being sick. I'm sorry for coughing. And they apologize as if it's their fault they're sick, as if they want to not be able to breathe. And it's so true, once again, relating it to real life. This happens, first of all, the thing with his dad to begin with, the fact that there's situations where humans can be so sick and that society can't do it, not that they can't. Society does nothing to help them. They just are sick, and if you don't have the money to afford it, you just die or suffer. And society sets you up that way, and that's already a pain. But then the people that are sick, that can't do anything about it, they feel such a burden and such a sadness and a guilt that somebody else is taking care of them. And Akaza is like, he doesn't care. He happily, like, he finds purpose and happiness in taking care of like these people that he loves that are sick, because he's like, it's not their fault. Like, if they could breathe, don't you think they would breathe? Like, it's not their fucking fault they can't breathe.
Right.
And it's just such a relatable, such a human, like, beautiful moment. Such a great...
Yeah, they feel like a burden on people, and it's sad that sick people do feel like a burden. Yeah. I even say, because I know what my dad went through taking care of my grandmother when she was dying of cancer, like, there is a sadness that comes with somebody being so outrageously ill that they feel like they don't want to be a burden to someone else. Mm-hmm. So they either start saying things that are really dark, like, just let me go, right? Like, let me go into the next life or whatever. That is a really sad thing to experience from a loved one. If you never experienced that, I pray you never have to. But like, yeah, seeing someone that you love, and in this case, it was my dad and his mother, my grandmother. So like, there's no way he's not going to take on that burden, no matter how burdensome my grandmother became in her last days. That shit broke him to the core. Like, she could apologize as much as you want. I'm sorry you have to do this. I'm sorry you have to take care of me. I'm sorry you have to do all these things. It's like, he's going to do it no matter what. And Akaza feels the exact same way with his dad and the new girl that he's supposed to take care of. I like it. It is very relatable. It's a thing that real people go through. We don't just have someone else to take care of things. We can't just pay money to be like, somebody take care of my dying grandmother. We unfortunately have to do it ourselves, and it fucking sucks. It's very real.
Yeah. And then to the point of like how certain people become a demon, fast forward, he gets offered to take over the dojo and to like marry the guy's daughter, and like they obviously like love each other and have feelings for each other. There's a part where like she wants him to go see the fireworks. Once again, she feels guilt that he has to waste all his time taking care of her. She's like, go see the fireworks. And he's like, hey, if you're feeling up to it, like, I'll just take you. Like, I'll take you to go see the fireworks. And he's like, and if you don't feel up to it, if you're sick, we'll just go see it next year. It happens every year. Yeah. Like, we'll just do it next year. And you find out that later on, that means so much to her. And this is cool for both of them. That means so much to her because from her perspective, she could never imagine she'd be alive next year. It's like every day she's alive is like surprising she's alive. Right. She never imagined she'd be alive next year. Her mother killed herself because her mother couldn't deal with the pain of not knowing when her daughter was going to die. So her mom killed herself. And Akaza was the only person that was like, oh yeah, we'll do it next year. Like as if it was just obvious I'd be alive.
Right.
Like you just understood I'd be alive. And like that gave her more strength to go on and probably helped her get better, etc. And same thing from him. He had the perspective of like him being such a degenerate criminal person that like he never imagined anybody would ever want to spend their life with him. So then when they end up being offered to each other in marriage or whatever, like they both have this overwhelming happiness. They eventually get to see the fireworks together. But then what ends up happening is that there's other dojos that are jealous of this dojo because how strong they are. They poison the water and they kill the master and the daughter while Akaza goes back to his hometown to visit his father's grave and say, hey, Like I finally became a good person and like I want to get married. He comes home to like his wife and like his surrogate father dead. And then he goes on a rampage.
Yo.
I think they say he kills like 67 people
67
or something.
people with his bare hands as an adult. His backstory is so cold that
it's cold.
Muzan had to come investigate the area because he fucking heard that a demon was rampaging in an area where he knows for a fact he never sent one. Muzan
like, I never
himself,
sent a demon here. I never said a demon here, but I'm here and there's a demon in the neighborhood.
Muzan had to leave whatever important matters he was doing to come visit an area that he knows for a fucking fact. I never sent a demon there, but I just heard news that 67 people fucking got murdered, bro. Only a demon could kill 67 people with their bare fucking hands.
And they had swords and shit.
Bro, they said that the scene was so graphic. There were body parts and disembowelments. There were teeth and heads. They like in the movie, I was like, oh my God, this is so graphic. The guy was explaining it and they showed the dojo in shadow, so you couldn't fully see like everything. You did see a lot of like, you know, guts and entrails and legs and arms and a head here and there, but like it was all in shadow for the most part. And the camera's panning the dojo, and he said the scene is so horrific. 67 people died, and I'm thinking to myself, yo, a human doing that is so absurd. The fact that Muzan had to come there to, like, he had to investigate. He had to play Batman for a second. So Muzan shows up and sees Akaza on the bridge. He's like, I came all this way for all the reasons I just said. And he's like, come to find out, it's just you. And then Akaza's like, get the fuck out of my way. And the second he goes to do any kind of aggressive motion towards Muzan flash steps and puts his hand through his fucking forehead in the exact second that Akaza had the thought of attacking. That, to me, again, I do hate what they did to Muzan in terms of like his goals and stuff, but he's still so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, he's crazy.
That flashed up on the bridge to the arm through Akaza's head and instantly killing him like that. I was like, oh my God. Like, we just watched 20 minutes of Akaza's backstory. I got to see this kid be a kid, get whipped and beat and marked and tattooed and everything, and then lose his wife, lose his surrogate father, go through all of this shit, kill 6-7 people, all for his entire life to end in the flash of probably a nanosecond. It happened so fast the way Muzan just decided your life is over. And then, on a whim, Muzan goes, but I'm wondering, how much blood can you handle?
Yep.
And he just
pumps his ass up, and he becomes one of the strongest demons to ever exist.
Easily.
And I mean, rightfully so. He was already probably one of the strongest humans to ever exist. Another really cool little tidbit that I want to say, I don't know how many people noticed it, but I noticed it because Akaza is like one of my favorite characters. I love martial artists. Like Dragon Ball Z is like my first, like martial artists are like my favorite thing ever. I love martial artists. So him being a martial artist was always so sick to me. I love Mugen Train. Him versus Rengoku was sick. I always loved when he did his stance and then like a snowflake appeared on the ground, right? And that was like the representation of him doing like his technique. And it was this big snowflake. And I just always thought that was really cool. In his backstory, the girl that he falls in love with, her hairpin is a snowflake. And when I noticed that, I got so fucking hyped because it's the exact snowflake that he makes. And mind you, when he's a demon, he doesn't have his memories anymore. But it's so cool that his technique manifests as a snowflake for like this person he was in love with, this person that was going to be his wife. And the hairpin that she wears was a snowflake hairpin. Just when I noticed that, it's just, once again, little details like that are so fucking cool in writing. When you have stuff like, and here's the other thing, it's never talked about. Nobody ever says, oh, look at this pretty snowflake hairpin. It's just something you have to notice. And if you don't notice it, you don't notice it. And if you do notice it, you go, oh, wow, that's so cool. Anyway, yeah, I love that. I just had to point that out. And I love that.
That snowflake compass thing protects him from damage and attacks and shit. Like, it's actually so cool how it all works. And Tanjiro, the entire time they're fighting, is trying to figure out what is Akaza's ability, because he notices it's impossible to fucking get a hit on this guy no matter what you do, no matter how fast you are. Even when Giyu got his speed boost, Tanjiro said, damn, Mr. Giyu is moving that much faster, but Akaza has already adapted to it. And Akaza literally did adapt to it. He just was like on par. He was like, okay, like you're faster. Like he noticed it, like you are faster. And then he just continues to keep up with Giyu or whatever. Like, he just keeps up with him. And then he overpowers eventually. Like, you're a human at the end of the day. You have energy that runs out. You have stamina. And I don't.
That's the thing that's unfair about the demons, too. The amount of times they get their arms cut off, you know what I mean? They're just like, I'm good.
Like, they lose neutral all the time. Like, the demons
lose neutral all the time.
Demons lose neutral a lot. Like, if it was melee, they would just be 4-stocked often. But because they have
5 stocks.
They just have fucking 99 stocks, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, they just lose arms, and Akaza, he gets, when Tanjiro first slices at him in this movie, because, Akaza notices that Tanjiro is Hashira level now. He's like, obviously there's tiers within the Hashira, so Tanjiro's probably like the weakest, next to Shinobu or whatever, but he's blatantly Hashira level now. Like, I can sense that / the speed that he's moving at. I don't know what he went through from the last time I saw him, but he's blatantly Hashira level now, which is like, okay, cool. We accept whatever. He went through a Hashira training arc. He was the strongest out of all the kids that went through it, who were like, yo, at the end of the day got in. We're not getting there. We'll just be like 8 or something when it comes down to it, but we're not getting any better by the time it's time to go fight Muzan. Tanjiro, on the other hand, is like, they're watching him do like moving the boulder, fucking doing the push-ups, doing this, like, he's doing everything. He's just ridiculous. So he's Hashira level now, according to Akaza's scaling of him. And he's like, okay, even though you're able to like cut my hand, just like Rengoku did, he just immediately snaps it back and he just like smiles. And I love the way he does his healing. Like, he just puts his body parts back together and immediately stares at you like, okay, what was that about?
Like, good job. But congratulations.
But yeah, back to Doma for a second again, because I didn't quite finish all the things I want to say about this guy. Shinobu, she gets toyed with.
Wait, before you say that, because I just remembered the whole reason why we went on that tangent. We were talking about, I don't know how Doma became a demon yet, and we were like, it'll probably get revealed in his backstory when he dies.
Yep.
The reason why I brought that up is because when Akaza's a human, his hair has like that pink purple hue. It's a very dark pink purple, his hair, and then his eyelashes are very clearly pink. When he gets turned into a demon, when Muzan turns him into a demon, his hair, like, you see his hair turn that bright pink. And so I imagine something similar happened with Doma.
Right. In
that Doma's hair was that straight silver, and then like Muzan puts his hand on his head and it creates like that blood mark on his hair. Something like that. I just wanted to say that because that's how we got on to Akaza's backstory to begin with.
Yep. I'm hoping that, they will, like you said, it'll always happen the same way because that's just a formula, and I accept that that's just what they do. When a person's about to die, here's their backstory, at least when it comes to the demons, not necessarily humans, because Rengoku's came like after he died or whatever. So Doma fights Shinobu, and it's really not much of a contest. He has a couple moments where he's like, oh, she's really fast. She's like fast as Hashira. I can't keep up with her attacks, all these other things. But at the end of the day, he knows you can't cut my head off. And he's also aware that no matter what poison you mix, does not work. So it gets to a point where she does her ultimate attack. She stabs him in the neck. She hits him on the ceiling, and then she falls down. And he, brings these 2 ice like whip things down and like pulls her back in, gives her this beautiful hug. And at the exact same time, her subordinate walks in.
Yep.
Her subordinate finds this room, which is a complete and utter lucky chance, because again, the Infinity Castle, which we still haven't talked about yet, is fucking absurd in scope. So when she walks in, Shinobu's already in the grasp of fucking Doma, and I was wondering, I was like, is he fucking hurting her? But yes, he was blatantly squeezing her so tight that her bones started to break. Like, you heard sounds of her body actually breaking as he's hugging, and like, she's also making slight noises, even though she can't speak anymore. But she's like, I can't even muster up like the fucking strength to speak. But she's trying to like gather her thoughts, and she's thinking about her sister in this moment too, as he's like fucking killing her. And eventually he like pushes her head so deep into his bosom, and he's just like choking the life out of her until eventually you see her hand is on her sword, and her hand like loosens over time, and then it eventually fully loosens. And when a demon slayer, especially a Hashira, lets go of their sword completely, unless it's Tanjiro who likes to throw his shit. It is a really bad thing to let go of your sword the way she did. So like in the air, she lets her sword go, and that shit just like falls to the ground and stabs into the ground. And she makes like one last little gesture or whatever to her subordinate. But then
to like warn her of something. Like,
yes,
we don't know exactly what it means, but it like warned her of something.
Yeah. Then Doma comes down with Shinobu, and I think the girl's name was like Kanao or something, like Kanao.
I think it's Nanao.
Nanao,
or maybe it's K. I thought it was an N, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever I don't really know her name that well, but she's always been pretty broken. She was the first person that you found out they're doing the total concentration, deep breathing thing all the time.
Yep.
Like they're just 24/7. It's not like they're doing it when they need to attack. Like Tanjiro was when he first learned about it. He was just doing it in moments where he needed to do it. She was like, well, I'm always doing it. Like all the time. And she was like, in order to get stronger, you have to always be doing it too. So anyways, like when Goku is revealed that he's doing Kaioken at all times, it's like, I remember there was a fight between Frieza and Goku, and the Z fighters were like, why doesn't Goku use Kaioken? And then somebody who's like really strong in that vicinity is like, it's not that he is like cannot use Kaioken, is that he's been using it the entire time. They slow the fight down with him and Frieza, and you see Goku turn red, lunge at Frieza with an attack, and then Frieza like, you know, does whatever to parry it, and then the Kaioken goes away, and then Goku does it again, and it's like, holy shit, he's been moving so fast and doing it.
You know, my favorite thing about that is like it gets established when Goku fights Nappa, and this is something that I think most people don't realize about Dragon Ball Z. Kaioken, if I remember correctly, it lasts for the duration of one heartbeat. Like when Goku uses Kaioken, when he's fighting Nappa, it gets explained that like the effects of Kaioken are like for a heartbeat, and I don't think it ever lasts longer than a heartbeat. I'd have to go back and like reread it to like really make sure. But yeah, when he's fighting Frieza, he's using it multiple times on multiple heartbeats.
Yeah,
like that's what's happening.
It's so cool because the Z fighters didn't even know that. They were like, why doesn't Goku just use Kaioken? Like, what's going on? And it's like, actually, he has been using Kaioken this entire time. So
fucking crazy.
But yeah, so the girl comes in, she sees Shinobu die. And at first I was like, I'm not really sure that Shinobu's dead because I saw the gesture with her hand or something. I was like, oh, I don't know.
Same. So
they fall to the ground, and like Doma's still being an asshole. He's like, I'm going to consume her now. And he starts to slowly absorb her whole body, like whole. He starts to absorb her entire body into his being. And it's a really strange thing. And then the girl goes to attack him, and he says, please, like, don't do that while I'm consuming her. Like, please, like, you know, give me time to fully take her in or whatever. And then her hairpin falls off. And this is really grotesque scene because I've never seen a demon up until this point absorb somebody like this. Like, I've seen them eat people, but I don't recall seeing them blatantly with their body take another body and hold like that. It was really disturbing to see it. And like, I was like, damn, she's actually dead. And he's just absorbing her dead body. Then her hairpin fell. I was like, she's actually fucking dead.
She's actually dead. What I hope, and this is what I hope, just because like I want all of the Hashiras, no matter what happens. So two things. One, especially now that what happened in the first 30 minutes of this movie, I think there's going to be more deaths. I don't think this is going to be the only Hashira death. I think there's probably going to be more deaths.
I think the snake guy is marked for death because he likes to love Hashira. I think that's just guaranteed.
Yeah. So I definitely think there's going to be more deaths. But I hope that all the Hashiras really get like their due. And what I mean by this is like, as much as Doma thinks that poison didn't work, like when he gets into the fight and it gets near the end, like something's going to happen and that poison is going to like re-trigger or something, and that's going to slow him down, and that's going to like there's going to be some lingering effect of the poison, or maybe her fucking body has the poison.
That's exactly what I said to my friend Kenny.
Her body is like going to be bad for him as well. I just hope that in some way she gets her revenge from the grave.
I literally said to my friend Kenny, who he lives in California now, and we were talking about this on the phone a couple of nights ago, and he said, like, what do you think is going to happen like with Doma in the future or whatever? Like, do you have any like thoughts about? And I was like, I actually did think about this when he started absorbing her. I said, that's really peculiar that he would do that specifically, right? Like, he's taking in her full body. Now, I fully think she's dead. Like, I do not think she's dead. She's not coming back. The birds went around screaming it to everybody. Like, Shinobu, the Hashira of insect breathing, is dead. Like, it's been confirmed by the fucking crows. So it was
on screen.
Yeah, like, it's on screen. Exactly. It's on screen. We saw what happened to her body, and like the crows are literally yelling, Shinobu. I mean,
there was a part where he's hugging her and like her neck snaps.
Yeah.
Her neck rolls back. Like she's dead factually.
Yeah. So he kills her, but then he starts to absorb her. And I said, that's such an interesting thing that he's doing, because what if she has some last poison thing that obviously for right now, it doesn't matter, but he's going to get into a moment where it either triggers, or when he's fighting that girl who's much weaker than Shinobu, she's not a Hashira. At least I don't think so. Like, she's not Hashira level or whatever. Or maybe she could be Hashira level, but she's still not on the level of the Hashira.
Like Tanjiro.
Yeah, she's not as strong as like fucking, exactly, like Tanjiro. She's a Hashira like Tanjiro, but not fucking Gyomei and Giyu and people who've been Hashiras for 20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe they'll be fighting, because that girl does flower breathing, which is interesting because that's the one her sister did as well. Mm-hmm. Like when Doma said, oh, you mean that one girl who did flower breathing? And then as soon as Kanao starts fighting, she does flower breathing as well. I was like, oh shit, she actually learned the breathing style that Shinobu's sister, her older sister, knew, which is, that's really cool. But I was like, no way she stands a chance against this guy. Like, she's going to die. If like nothing changes, she's going to die. But then I start thinking, oh, maybe there's going to be a poison, like one last poison thing that like gets him in the end.
I also think we have a lot of Hashiras not in play yet. Like some Hashiras are going to show up because right now the Wind Hashira hasn't found anybody to fight. His brother as well is going to show up.
Yeah.
Then there's Gyome. Then there's Muichiro. Then there's the Snake and the Love Hashira. So there's 6 Hashira, right? Or 5 Hashira, 6 characters that are like not in play. And maybe there's another one that I'm not thinking of. But there's at least 5 Hashira that are not in play, have not fought Upper Moon yet.
And there's only 2
like
left.
She's going to get back up. She's 100% going to get back up because I don't think they're going to kill her too.
Yeah,
on top of like her master. Like that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, something's got to give, right? I mean, at some point, Doma does have to die. But right now, after seeing what it took to kill Doma, I'm like, to kill Akaza, I'm like, damn. Or not even kill Akaza. They didn't kill Akaza. Akaza killed himself.
Yeah.
Seeing what they went through with Akaza, I was like, I don't see what needs to happen here. Like, where does he needs to fight? And I know they're saving Gyome specifically for number 1. So I'm like, I don't really see, I'm not. Sanemi is very clearly very powerful. It could end up being Sanemi. I think that's his name. Sanemi is the Wind Hashira is very powerful. And I always had him pegged as one of the top, 3. Like, he gives me top 3 vibes.
Yeah.
Everything about him seems like he's OD strong. Don't know the actual hierarchy yet, but I imagine that he is going to run into him, but he's not making any effort to move towards one. So I'm like, I don't know
exactly what he's doing. My guess is that, just pure guess, because I agree with you, I think Gyome is definitely going to end up fighting number 1. It'll be like Gyome and Muichiro versus number 1. And then so that leaves like the Snake and the Love to go fight number 2, I guess.
Yeah, because that could happen. Like, needs to.
Gyu is not doing anything for the foreseeable future.
I think
Gyu and Tanjiro. Like, I don't think in movie 2, I don't think they're going to be really involved. I think they're taking a break in movie 2. I don't think we see them again until movie.
I would like if that was the case. There's no sensu beans in Demon Slayer.
Yeah,
I would like if they just are out of contention for the entire second movie. That would be totally reasonable for me, and I would not question it at all. I would question it if they ever get back up and try to start fighting again. One of them lost their sword. Like, his sword is literally broken, and Tanjiro is just expended so much energy and has gotten beat up so bad that I don't see him fighting immediately.
Tanjiro's definitely coming back because at the end of the day, I have to assume Tanjiro is going to be who kills Muzan at the end of the day.
Like, in reality, that doesn't make much sense thinking about the whole. But like at the same time, okay, with hacks, and what I mean by hacks, clearly Tanjiro is from a bloodline that does something to Muzan.
Yeah,
the earrings and his bloodline, something about when Tanjiro goes into that form, that I'm not breathing form or whatever, something about that mode, because he did it in this movie too, something about that mode scares the blood of Muzan, because Akaza he never feared them until Tanjiro entered that state, and then he said something about him right now has changed, and I feel afraid all of us. Like, he felt afraid the same way Daki felt afraid only when Tanjiro enters this specific state. So there's something about that triggers those, as she said, it's like the blood has memories. Like Daki was like, it's like my blood remembers this person somehow, and it's afraid, like it's terrified of him. That's going to be something. Obviously Tanjiro has some hacks that we don't know about. It's family related, clearly. He looks like every other ancestor. He looks like the doll. He looks like Koko Shiba or whatever, I think that's his name. He looks like Koko Shiba, the number 1 dude. Something is going to happen. I don't really get it yet, and it doesn't really make much sense yet, and it's not supposed to, because in reality there's no way that Tanjiro should be able to like do anything to Muzan as powerful as he is. But clearly, like you said, at the end of the day, we watch too much anyway. We know Tanjiro will end up being a pivotal part of the final battle with Muzan.
Yeah, because also, like, this is something, shout out to Hunter x Hunter. Actually, I'm not even going to talk about this because I don't want to spoil. We've spoiled so many random parts of Hunter x Hunter. I don't want to do it in this episode. But Hunter x Hunter averts expectations often in different ways. But anyway, back to this. Yeah, so I assume Tanjiro has to be the one to kill Muzan. I mean, it can still be a team effort, but all of this to say, Tanjiro is going to get up and will be fighting again.
I think you're right. I want to stay on that for 1 second. Team effort. I can see every single Demon Slayer who's available to fight still fighting Muzan at once. Tanjiro being the lead, obviously. Tanjiro being the one who maybe gets the final hits. But they're going to end up fighting him until the sun comes up, actually. At some point, somebody's going to need to, and maybe this is where Love and Snake come in. Somebody does need to kill number 4, the Biwa woman.
Yeah.
Someone needs to find her and kill her. And I do want to get into the Infinity Castle as a whole, but if you have something else that you want to allude to or talk to about.
Yeah, I was just going to say on the small note that you said about the sun come up, that's also true. At the end of the day, we know for a fact cutting his head off isn't going to kill him. So it's going to be a thing where it's just going to be people fighting him until the fucking sun comes up. And it's just going to be like, fight this. Don't let him run away. Fight him till the goddamn sun comes up.
Yeah.
And then there's even a small chance, which I think would be kind of fucking stupid. There's a small chance that the sun coming up is not going to kill him because it didn't kill Nezuko. It didn't kill Nezuko. And we know that's the goal because they already said cutting his head off won't work.
Yeah.
You have to fight him till the sun comes up. So there's a chance that just because the sun comes up, he doesn't die.
And maybe
all this time he didn't know he could go into the sun.
No. That's too. Okay, you did preface it by saying this is not good. So you did say this is awful. I think that I would probably walk out. Like if the sun is out, Kenny, and Muzan is standing there like, wait, so like this doesn't actually affect me. When I tell you it's giving get up and walk out vibes. No, but okay. So yeah, they're going to be fighting him, war of attrition, all that good stuff. Number 4 needs to go. The new number 4 anyway. The upper moon with the Biwa. I want to talk about the Infinity Castle as a actual like idea. I think it is so fucking brilliant. The way there's a room of Demon Slayer people who are left over from Uburashiki, and like they're drawing the actual Infinity Castle by using a combination of the one kid's ability, his demon blood art. They're using a combination of that and the crows that are just like going around to every nook and cranny and literally with memory and with just like the visual mapping out the entire Infinity Castle. But what's so absurd about it, they are mapping infinity. It is not a joke. It is not fucking exaggerated. It's not hyperbole. They are literally tasked with mapping infinity. And at first I was like,
insane.
There has to be an edge or something. As they're approaching the edge, the shit collapses together and fucking expands back out in a completely different way. It is so broken what she's able to do. I don't understand. That blood demon art is by far one of the most broken things I've ever seen in anime.
You know what I think too? I this isn't really explained, and so I don't fully know if I'm on the right path, but I think to some small degree, Muzan could have some influence on the kind of powers people have. And what I mean by this is that a former lower moon in season 1, we meet a former lower moon. He was a lower moon, and there's like an X on his eyes. He's no longer a lower moon, but he was still alive. And his power, there was like a building, and he would like play the drums. He would like beat these drums, and it would rearrange the building that he was in. And so kind of like the Infinity Castle, it would like rearrange and recreate rooms and move this building in different ways with him beating the drum. I find it interesting that the Biwa woman is very similar. She plays an instrument and it recreates and rearranges rooms. And that guy's now dead. It's my assumption that like Muzan, that's a power that Muzan maybe gives to people because it's obviously very beneficial to him, because one of his former moons had a much weaker version of that power.
Right.
That moon is now dead, and now we see the Biwa woman doing it to like an absurd degree.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. There's also seemed to be some correlation between music and that ability now that you say that.
Yeah.
I also wonder if the Infinity Castle, there's a trick to it. I feel like if anybody figures that out, it's going to be Tanjiro. Because Tanjiro faced that demon. And maybe something might, Tanjiro, one of the things about him, he's very smart. And he will literally sit there and try to figure out things that are unknown to him in the middle of a dire moment. And he's good at like finding the answer. Like he figured out Akaza's ability, basically.
I like Tanjiro. He's a similar main character to Deku.
Yep.
Like Tanjiro and Deku are very similar main characters. And I like them both a lot.
They try really hard, and that's why they're powerful, but they're not overtly powerful from the beginning. Like, technically, yes, one has sun breathing, one has All Might's power. Both of them come with incredible drawbacks.
Yes.
That literally destroyed their bodies when they use them at first, because it's like, you should not be using this at your level. So, like, this literally is destroying you as you use fire, like, you use sun breathing, it's hurting you. You use fucking All Might's 100% shit, it's literally breaking your fingers and your body, and if you keep using it, I'm not going to be able to heal you. They work so hard to get stronger. That's like their thing.
Something that's cool about sun breathing too is there's a part in one of the flashbacks with Tanjiro where he's talking to his dad. He's like, listen, if you're tired, like if you get tired, like I'll do it for you. Like if you can't do it all night, because the way it is like every year there's a day out of the year where and at the time you don't know it's called sun breathing. It's just called like the dance of Hinogami Kagura, where whoever is the current practitioner has to like dance from sunset to sunup, and it does this dance for the entire night. and it's like all these different formations, and you have to do them thousands of times throughout the night, over and over and over and over again. And Tanjiro's like, hey, like, I'll do it for you. Like, I'll do this dance. I'll uphold the ritual because, like, you're getting older. It's just making you really tired. Like, it's exhausting for you. And his dad says something super interesting. He says, that's actually not true. Like, actually, it's easier for me to do now than it ever has been. When I first learned how to do it, when I was younger, when my body was, more strong or whatever, when I first learned how to do it, it was way more strenuous and much more taxing on my body and destroyed my body in all these different ways. And explains all of the hardships of doing it and all the pain it put him through. Now that he's done it so many times and he's become so much older and more experienced with it, it's not hard for him to do it all. And he gives various reasons. But what's cool about that is it shows, as Tanjiro's now doing these techniques, that, like, it's ripping his body apart. And it's something that I guess as you develop it and as you age and you get to the age of Tanjiro's dad, even when your body becomes frail, you'll be able to do these techniques just like breathing. And it won't have any, like, drawbacks to your body. I just thought it was really interesting. And then you see his dad with a fucking bitch-ass axe.
So
fucking decapitate this bear.
Since we're here, we cannot not talk about the fucking animal cruelty that his father enacted on this bear. Like, okay, they wake up in the middle of the night. The dad wakes up and it's all his family. And Tanjiro has a big family. I actually love that he has a big family. I've always wanted a big family. I'm from a very small family in terms of me and my immediate family, like me, my sister, my mom, my dad. I just have one sibling. Tanjiro has like 6 fucking siblings. It's a huge family.
Yeah.
So they're all sleeping together in one house on the floor, which I love that. It reminds me of like a sleepover with my little cousins. When I was younger, we used to have sleepovers. All my cousins would come over. We played video games all night, and eventually we'd all start falling asleep on the floor with like my grandmother would put down like a bunch of blankets and shit for us.
There's also something I love about the community aspect of that, of literally mom, dad, all the kids, they're all sleeping in the exact same room.
Yeah.
And there's something about that was like so beautiful. And it also made me think to myself, like, I do truly wonder how comfortable or uncomfortable those like Japanese sleeping mats are. Like, because they're not just sleeping bags. I wonder if they're worth looking into. Because like that would. Because, like, in Japan, I don't know if they still do this now. Maybe some people do. But as it's presented in anime and TV shows, you have, like, these little sleeping mats. And then, like, when they wake up in the morning, they just roll the mat up. And now you have your whole room open. You don't have this bed just taking up room in your room. And, I wonder if that's worth looking into. I might buy one of those for not too expensive and see if they're comfortable or if they're just, like, unplayable.
They have to have them on Amazon. But yeah, I agree with you. I'm curious about how it feels to sleep that way. And maybe I've been to Japan twice now. I've been to Japan for a total of a full month now. I've been there 2 weeks and 2 weeks. So I've been there for a full month and I haven't experienced that part. And I know that that's something that you can pay to do. Like, you can pay to stay at like a classic Japanese establishment that you will sleep on tatami mats. You will sleep on one of those, like, the little, blanket situation that they put down for you. You can get the full experience of that. And I have not done it, but going back next year, I probably will try it just to see what it's like. And I'll report back to base. Tanjiro's sleeping with his family. His dad wakes up first just because he senses this bear that is far, 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 far away. And their entire cottage that they live in, surrounding it, is basically booby trapped with a bunch of bells.
Yeah, because apparently they knew there was a bear in the area that was like slaughtering people.
Yes.
Like, it was like a wild bear.
And it killed a bunch of neighbors. And at first I was thinking like, I don't know if that's a bear. That might be a demon. And he didn't want to say what it really was. So at first I was a little suspicious of the description that they gave anyway in the movie, because I'm like, it slaughtered an entire neighboring family. Like, interesting. But anyway, the dad wakes up. He's like, Tanjiro. He specifically calls out to Tanjiro. He's like, Tanjiro. Tanjiro opens one eye, wakes up, gets out of the bed. Him and his dad go outside. They walk down to the edge of the perimeter, and there is a gigantic fucking grizzly bear. And the art style on this bear is actually so cool. Like, just looking at it, I was like, yo, that bear looks insane. Really good animation on the bear, really good art style. The bear is just there, looks very menacing, has those scary eyes in the moonlight. It's very dark out. Tanjiro is absolutely fucking frightened. His dad walks forward. The bear is right behind the perimeter where these bells, this like strip of bells, is this wire that's holding them up. And he says, I'm sorry, but I cannot let you come past this point. My family is here. And if you dare threaten my family in any kind of way, I will be forced to take your life. And like, okay, sure. Like, you're talking to an animal that does not understand English or doesn't understand Japanese for that matter.
Listen, he still gave it a chance, all right?
He did say his piece, and he stares the bear down in the eyes. And then the bear does like a slight lunging motion forward, and it like tips the wire that rings the bells. The very second that the bear moves onto the wire, Tanjiro's father has leaped into the air, landed back down, and cut the fucking bear's head full off. And when we see it, it looks like it's a jump and a come down, and the bear's head is off, and like some sharp object, like the axe, some sharp object took it off. But then Tanjiro says it wasn't one move though. It was actually a 2-part attack. Like he like did 2 things when he did it. And like they rewind and they show it like in slower motion. He's like, I could not believe how fast and how powerful my father, who's again, Tanjiro's dad looks sickly.
Yep.
Sucking in cheeks.
He's a sickly old man. Like, yeah, he looks bad.
And he just like bro, I couldn't believe how fast he cut the head off this bear. It falls down, and then they pray for the bear, of course. And I was like, oh, they're about to have bear for the next month. Like bear is about to be on the
good.
Which I assume they actually did do, because I don't see like you would not just let that, go to the wilds.
Oh yeah, they ate that bear. They ate that fucking bear.
Yeah, that's a lot of fucking food. Like that literally could feed them for a long ass time.
He was like, he cut him twice, and he said he cut him twice because he was like, he cuts him on the way up and then cuts him on the way down. And then he says, and he would have had to, considering the shitty fucking axe he was using.
Yeah.
Like
it was insane. That was one of the best parts of the movie to me, because I wasn't expecting it, but we know his dad's broken. But seeing that one moment where he just like slaughters a bear like that's blatantly about to attack his family, I thought that was so cool. It also showed his resolve that like, I absolutely will not let something come between me and my family, which I think Tanjiro has that instilled in him from seeing his father like that.
Yeah. And it's also cool too, because like seeing his dad do the Hinagami Kagura all these times throughout his life, he essentially got taught all the forms of sun breathing. Assuming I'm not misunderstanding, as far as I understand, he's using sun breathing. He essentially got taught all of the forms of sun breathing without realizing he got taught all the forms of sun breathing. Yep. So now when we see him do these sun breathing techniques, it makes sense, because from Tanjiro's perspective, he doesn't ever say sun breathing. He says Hinagami Kagura, and then he does like a certain technique, because that's how it was taught to him through this dance that his dad did. I'm assuming that's sun breathing.
It is.
And yeah,
it factually is. It's the first form of breathing, and it's what he's doing. It's the most powerful. Yes, the most powerful form of breathing. It's the first form of breathing. Every other breathing is derivative of that. And the Flame Hashira said that he hates sun breathers because and this might be his insecurity, they look down on us fire breathers because their technique is the original. It's like, bro, is that true, or do you just feel that way? Some people will project some shit onto you.
All techniques, like if sun's the original, all techniques, as I understand it, are derivative of sun breathing.
That is a fact. They stated that as well.
But what's cool though is that if you think about it, like sun breathing might be the original breathing, and it's probably the most powerful.
Yeah.
But that said, an interesting thing that comes from that with the styles branching and becoming new styles, things like insect breathing are going to still try to do something different and unique that maybe sun breathing doesn't do. Now, granted, sun breathing is obviously still stronger, but the other breathing techniques are going to still offer something different and unique.
Yeah.
And there's a value to be had in those other techniques as well.
Yeah, water breathing is amazing. We know thunder breathing is amazing. Like, there's a lot of them. Beast breathing, insect breathing. It is cool. They're all used to kill demons in different ways. At the end of the day, sun breathing might be the best and the first or whatever, but you can be a Hashira and behead several hundred demons throughout your life with whatever breathing technique you develop. I think that's actually really cool that they're not forced to all try to learn sun breathing. And apparently sun breathing is really hard to even learn. And Tanjiro, we're getting more backstory, but he saw his dad doing this dance every single year for an entire 24 hours straight without thinking too much about it. It ends up being instilled into his brain because it's just something you saw as a child way too much. And it's kind of how go ahead.
I was going to say, and it also does an extra step to make you assume that he, even as a kid, he knew the moves, because when he says to his dad, hey, I'll take over, I'll do the ritual dance. To me, that already assumes he knows what the movements are. He knows what steps to do in the dance.
Yeah, I've seen you do it so often. It's kind of like marketing. When we were kids, commercials were a big part of our life because there was no alternative. When you watch TV, commercials, you just had to see them, right? And a lot of things have stood with us throughout our entire lives. Like I think about Ricola.
Yep.
Or I'm thinking Arby's, or just all of those things.
Yep. Which, by the way, that was made by the Clips. I'll never forget that. The
insane.
Clips, the rap group, they're the ones that made that jingle, the McDonald's jingle. It's crazy.
They're insane. Goat it. But yeah, a lot of things just stuck with you as a kid because you saw it so much that now it's kind of like I'm in my 30s and there are things from my childhood that are still in my brain vividly. just because I've seen it or heard it so often that I can repeat it in the same cadence and everything. Like, I've never had Ricola in my life, bro. Don't even know what it really is. I've never had it in my life. Not once. Not once.
That's so funny. Me neither, by the way. But another thing too, right? Like, I haven't, it's true. I haven't driven a bike. I can't tell you the last time I've been on a bike. If I got on a bike right now, I would not fall. Like, I would know how to drive the bike, right? So, like, it's the same thing. Like, he probably, as a kid, watched his dad. He probably mimicked what his dad was doing, just being a kid. Like, oh, this is so cool. And, like, mimicked what his dad was doing. It's one of those things where you see something so often, like you said, marketing and advertisements, you just watch something happen so often. And then also, as a kid, you're probably mimicking and learning the movements as well. And you probably never forget them.
What's funny about that, and this is a tangent as well, but I remember watching a video of some celebrity, some random celebrity that's like not a super celebrity, but just like some person that's famous, they're like an influencer, and he has a son, a newborn son that's in the Pampers, but the little kid is probably at this point like 8 or 9 months old, and a little boy, every morning, his dad gets up, like the celebrity guy, he gets up and does 100 push-ups every single morning. And he recorded himself doing it this particular day because he noticed that his son is taking interest in like what his dad's doing. So this one time he's recording himself doing 100 push-ups and he looks over his son in his pamper and nothing else, gets an exact same formation as his father. Awesome. And starts trying to do push-ups. And obviously he's not doing real push-ups, but he's literally, from seeing his dad do it, never doing this form on purpose. He crawled obviously at some point in his life, but now like the little boy, probably like 9 or 10 months old, he's starting to try to walk. So when he like crawls over, he gets into the position of a push-up and he's like trying to like push himself up and bring himself down and push himself up and bring himself down. And he's doing it in a baby way. It is so fucking cute. And the dad's like laughing and the mom is like laughing. It's like, oh my God, like this is insane. He's so adorable. He's so cute. And I was just like, damn, that kid sees his father doing something every single morning. Cause this guy is jacked, by the way. This guy has like an insane body. And like, he sees his dad, it's the only reason I follow him, but he sees his dad doing these fucking push-ups.
Oh, no. It just progressively, we just progressively go more into the depths. It's like it started so wholesome.
Cut that out.
Story started
cut that out.
So fucking wholesome.
You can cut that part out.
It just gets closer and closer to the depths, just like, and by the way, I jerk off to it. Like, it's just like, it gets absurd.
Cut that out.
It gets absurd.
Cut the edit point. But yeah, like the kid sees him doing push-ups and he's trying to emulate it. And I imagine Tanjiro went through something very similar. Yes, it is very complicated doing dances, stuff like that. But kids, if you ever seen a newborn kid, like I'm talking about less than a year old, when music comes on after a while of being on the earth, like 11 months, 10 months, they start dancing. They start doing their own little fucking jive. They just start doing their little thing. It's so adorable. Like they don't really know what dancing is per se, but they just start doing it. They hear rhythm and their bodies start to do a little, I like this. Like, I just like this song. I like this music. And yeah, so Tanjiro, I get it. Like, I get how he can learn fire breathing basically from seeing repetition over and over and over again. It's awesome. Mapping infinity is absurd. I think at one point, going back to the dread point, which started this entire like episode, dread, I love how multiple times throughout the movie they want to give up.
Yeah.
Because it changes. Like the Infinity Castle, they will literally have mapped out as much as they could already. And then it will just expand or literally shift completely different. And they're looking at their maps and they're like, bro, we have checked all of these areas. Muzan is nowhere to be found. And on top of that, it keeps going. Like the crows will get to the edge and then you'll see like light. So it looks like it's the edge, but then it'll just expand out. It'll just fucking keep going so far. It's like, bro, there's no ending.
And then like you have all of these like Demon Slayer workers like running around like putting the paper, because like they're drawing these maps, the children of Urashuga Biki or whatever. I don't remember his name, but like the master of the Demon Slayer Corps, they're like putting these maps on the wall. And by the way, he's so hard, right? So the end of season 3, it's like, he tells Gyoma, I'm going to die. I'm going to sacrifice myself. I'm going to give you all a chance. And like, in order to make the gambit works, he doesn't he kills himself, his wife, and 2 of his kids.
Yep.
2 of his fucking kids die in this gambit. And in order for 3 of his other kids to be able to secretly follow out the rest of this mission, and now they're still alive and they're mapping it out, and there's a part in time where one of the kids like starts crying and like has doubt or whatever, and then like the main one's like, yo, we don't got time for that shit. We don't have time for that shit. Like, cry later.
Head up.
We're fucking doing this.
Don't look down. Keep drawing.
Yep. They're fucking hard. They're hard.
Mapping
that family
infinity is such a crazy concept, bro. When at the end of the movie, like the very end, when the Biwa woman makes the entire castle collapse into a cube, and then it juts out in every direction and completely changes form. And then they look down at their map, and you see even the main one, they kind of like blot the fucking paintbrush down, like as if to say, fuck it all. Like it's this one moment of weakness where the main one kind of like puts the paintbrush and it makes this big like circle of black on the middle of what they're drawing. That part to me, I was like, bro, how the fuck do you do this?
That's insane.
They're like, we will win. Like, we will beat Muzan. But they're sweating. They're tired. They're fucking dreading. And also, they're getting messages about there's a group of demon slayers over here. They're going to be overwhelmed soon. Like, there's a horde of demons coming their way. They're already faring tentative. They're about to be swarmed, and they're in trouble. Like, it's so bad. The situation is
there's
dire.
people dying. Like, there's stuff happening everywhere. It's brutal. And then it's cool too because like some of the lower tier demon slayers are just like clearing they're like, listen, we're fodder and we're gonna clear the fodder. We're gonna make sure you guys don't have to waste your time. You guys keep going. Find the real people to fight.
It's so good. It's a really good movie. All the backstories, the backstory with Tanjiro's father, Akaza's backstory is insane. Doma's backstory was insane. Shinobu's backstory was insane. I know this is like kind of the last thing we could really like start to wrap this one up. A lot of people do have issues with this movie when it comes to the backstory stuff. They were talking about how they didn't like how the Akaza fight was interrupted by a 20-minute backstory thing. They didn't like how there was a backstory in like every single fight. Like
the fight was over when the backstory happened though. Like the fight was over. Like his head was cut off and he already did other shit after his head was cut off.
Yeah.
Then there's the backstory and then there's like then he kills himself.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the fight's not really interrupted by a backstory. It's like the fight like ended, but he still didn't lose yet. You get his whole backstory, which identifies his sense of pride because he gets his memories back. And then because he gets his memories back and identifies his own sense of pride and like remembers his wife and everything, he kills himself. Like, I don't even feel like the fight was interrupted by a backstory.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of complaints. The only complaints I've seen about this movie have been way too much explanation. They could have saved this. And I'm thinking to myself, what do you guys want when you watch anything that has a story to it? Do you expect that at some point there's just going to be a fight with no explanation? You want to see Akaza who literally killed a Hashira early on after season 1. They literally killed a Hashira that meant a lot to Tanjiro, right? So Tanjiro already wants revenge on this person. They cannot kill this person in a fight with no explanation on anything about him. You can't do that. That is terrible writing. If Akaza died and we don't know anything about him, he's just like some demon that killed Rengoku, and that's all he ever was, that will just not be great for the development of not only Tanjiro, but for the development of the villain. It just won't be satisfying.
No.
You cannot have people dying and we don't know anything about them. It has no real stakes to it. You have no connection to these people. I had a connection to Akaza after watching his flashback.
Yeah. I'm sitting in the theater. Now, mind you, this just happened a few hours ago. I just watched this movie hours ago. I'm sitting in the theater and the people sitting behind me at one point during the flashback, I remember him saying, I didn't come here for all this shit. I want to see them get fucked up. That's what he says. Yeah. Like he says, I didn't come here to see all this shit. Like while there's like story happening, I want to see them get fucked up. Like that's like all. And then like during the flashback, like they're bored and annoyed during the flashback, and they only found enjoyment at the parts where like there's a part in the flashback where the master like beats the shit out of Akaza as a kid, like dicks on him.
Yeah.
And then like I heard the guy behind me laugh and go like, oh, and like get excited. And it was like, yeah, all they wanted to see was people get punched. Like they just wanted to see people get hit.
It's
and
so
if people
sad.
were talking, he was upset. And I was like, this is insane. Yeah.
It's so sad that a lot of people are like that because I've seen multiple stories of younger people and they just cannot deal with any kind.
They also, this same group of people sitting behind me, when the credits started rolling, if you've seen this movie, you know, the credits start rolling, but the movie's not over. There's still things happening in the movie. They're still talking. There's still story developing as the credits are rolling. Like there's still like, let's say 5 to 10 minutes of story during the credits.
Yep.
As soon as the credits start rolling, the people behind me got up and they were like, oh shit, that movie was sick, and left. Like they left the movie.
While Muzan was giving his speech.
While Muzan was talking, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, that's wild.
Some people just can't be helped.
It's really unfortunate that people don't want any development or any backstory or any explanations. They only want to see action. That shit is so like disappointing to me. It really speaks to the generation of TikTok and like Instagram reels and YouTube shorts. It's the whole microwave society that we're in right now, where attention spans are so bad. Attention spans are just in the shitter at this point.
Yeah, it's rough.
It is.
It's rough.
It really is sad. So I think we touched on pretty much everything. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but like,
I think so. I don't think we missed anything. And if we did, we'll cover it when we talk about the next movie. Is there any word at all if the movie's going to be out in 6 months, 1 year, 2 years?
No.
Does
And anybody
know?
telling you otherwise is lying. There's, as of right now, while this movie is currently in theaters, which it still is, there is no word on when the next one is coming out. People are speculating, though. I'll tell you what is being speculated. People are speculating that they're going to turn this movie into a season, because that is the playbook of Dragon Ball.
That's what they did with. They also, I mean, that's the playbook of Demon Slayer. They literally did that with Mugen Train.
Yep. And I think, yes, so that's the playbook that's been being followed. I don't know if Dragon Ball was the first to start doing that shit, but we saw it with like Battle of the Gods or whatever. Resurrection of Z or Resurrection of Frieza. That playbook is being used. It was used by them already for Mugen Train. I actually did not expect at all for this to become a season, though. I don't know why I didn't even consider like this might happen.
Yeah, I didn't consider that either. I hope it doesn't. But or if it does, I hope it doesn't take away from the release of the next movie. I really, truly do not want to have, and like, I'm one of those people where it's like, I understand quality takes time, but I also understand that one day I'm going to die. I don't have that much time. I don't want this movie to take more than I don't want to wait more than a year for the next one and then more than a year for the next one. Because think about it. If it at minimum means we won't see the end of Demon Slayer for 2 more years.
Yeah.
And it's like a little crazy because it's, the manga's been done for fucking 7 years now or something. Like the manga ended almost a decade ago.
Yeah, you said before it started, basically it was over.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't remember how long there was between Infinity War and Endgame. I want to say it was like 6 months.
Yeah.
Really
Infinity War and Endgame was less than a year apart.
Yeah, I do think it was less than a year. So that's what I'm saying is like, I want that to be the case. I'm giving them the grace of 1 year. Like, I hope it's just 1 year and then 1 year again. But I really hope it's like 8 months or something like that.
Same, man. I would love if they could wrap this all up in a year and a half max and not 2 full years, and not anything longer than that is egregious.
Yeah.
I'm expecting, because I'm just not optimistic when it comes to this shit now. I'm hoping that it doesn't take more than a year each movie. But I'm expecting a year minimum for each movie. Unfortunately, that's just what I think is going to happen. Anything else would make me so happy if it goes the other way. And it's just like, this one's coming out, like you said, 8 months. I'll be ecstatic. 4 months off the year, I'll take it. I'll take anything. And then if you do another 8 months, I'll take that as well. And the quality doesn't have to drop. And they're working on it right now. In theory, I mean, when I was in Japan, it's funny. When I was in Japan, this movie was actually out when I was in Japan. And obviously, I don't fucking understand Japanese, and it didn't have subtitles in Japan either. So I was like, well, I'm not going to see that. I'm not watching a movie where I don't know what's happening literally at all. I just did not even try to see it in Japan. But yeah, I'm excited. The first one was a banger. Like, this is a movie that I absolutely watch again. I even told Kenny, I was like, I know you're going to go see it at some point. I kind of want to go. Like, I was literally debating, and if we didn't live, we don't live far from each other, but we live far enough where it's like, it's a pretty big inconvenience.
It's slightly inconvenient. Yeah, it's inconvenient. And on top of that, like, so for example, it's not, so I went to a 1:30 showing, which happened to be a matinee showing, which means I got 20% off. Hell yeah. In addition to that, though, it wasn't showing at any other time today. Like, it wasn't like it was showing later today anyway.
Right, so you only had one option.
Like, I only had one option. And then on top of that, it's like Frazier's at work. Like, Frazier can't, you know what I mean? So there wasn't really any way for us to like meet up and do it. But we should definitely make it a point to meet up for like some random movie in the future.
Yeah, the next Demon Slayer movie. Now, I assume they're all going to come out on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you will be working for the foreseeable future with that type of schedule. But I do want to see one of them with like the gang. Like, maybe we'll do the last one like that. Like, the last one, we'll just make an effort. Like, we have to see the last one with the whole squad, as a thing. Because it was like me, Luke, Gary, and my other friend Eric. And I would love if we could just do like one huge group of people. Like, I booked the tickets for us to go see this one. Like, I booked everybody's tickets. The way this even happened, I didn't know the tickets were even out, and apparently no one else did. I went on AMC randomly, and I typed in Demon Slayer. It came up. I clicked on it, and it was like tickets were just available on a random day in August. And so I was like, yo, the fucking tickets for Demon Slayer are just up right now. And the movie that I'm looking at, like, this time on this day, it was on a Thursday, and again, it comes out on a Friday, so it was a day early. I was like, this movie theater is empty. There's no one in this theater. We can book like an entire row. We can do whatever we want. And so I just bought like 4 tickets at that time. But That was
when you went. Did it end up being a packed theater? Was it like capacity packed?
Yeah. When I went on that Thursday, it was full, and the cups were sold out. Like the Demon Slayer cups, the popcorn buckets, everything was sold out.
Oh, I forgot. I wanted to try and get a Demon Slayer cup. It would have probably been sold out anyway, but I completely forgot to even check because I was on my I'm bringing food in, and I'm like I was on my I brought in Gatorades and chips. Like I fucking ignored the snack bar.
By the way, how did you do it this time?
I just put it in my backpack.
Okay, yeah, because they don't check.
Yeah, they don't check at all. I literally so before we saw the movie, there's a Smash Burger around the corner. So we went in, we got a burger from Smash Burger, we got a burger and a milkshake, and had something to eat because we didn't eat at all. So that was what we ate. We go see the movie, and so I was full. And on top of that, I had snacks and stuff in my backpack, so I was good to go. So I didn't even look at the snack counter, even though now I regret because I wanted to check and see if they had like the Katana cup or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I went in. I actually ended up not even eating any of the chips while I was in the movie because I was so full from the burger that I ate.
That's good shit.
Yeah.
That's good shit. Yeah, great movie. I do want to see one of them with the gang, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think about this movie. Again, Kenny and we're anime only. I have not read a single page of the manga myself.
Oh yeah, you included my name. I don't know why I said same because you included my name in that sentence. But anyway.
Kenny and I are anime only, so we don't know what's going to happen, and we want to keep it that way. I like being surprised. I did not know that Akaza would be able to keep fighting with a decapitated head. That completely blew me away. Like I was sitting there, my palms were sweating so bad because I was like, "Oh my god, is Giyu about to die?" Like I kept thinking,
I 100% thought Giyu was going to die. 100%. Like, especially after Shinobu died, I was like, "Oh, Giyu!" Like, and then the way that fight was going, I was like, "Oh, I thought Giyu was dead."
Yeah, I said to myself, when Akaza's head started to regrow, when he was just a neck, I was like, this is a meme. Once the head started to actually regrow, though, it took a while. But when that started to happen, I said, oh, they're actually dead. Because, in theory, he's going to regrow his head and be just as strong and as nimble and as much stamina as he had before the fight even started. Because that's how demons work.
Yeah.
So I was like, there's no way they can go do that again. Like, there's no way. So I thought Giyu was going to die in some sacrifice thing. But, Akaza ended up just having mercy, and his wife came at the last minute. It was like, it's okay, let go now. Thank God for her. But yeah, did not know. And basically my whole point is I like being surprised. I like seeing that Doma killed Shinobu, even though I wasn't 100% sure how that fight was going to go. I had an inkling. I was like, it's the beginning of the movie. She ran into number 2. Like, there's no shot you're beating number 2. And, she ends up getting killed. And I was like, that's actually so crazy. We just watched a Hashira die, and that's the beginning. Like, that is the opening.
Yeah.
So I like this. This is like what makes it interesting to me. I want to see how they deal with number 2 and number 1. I want to see the big reveals for why number 1 looks like Tanjiro and his ancestors and his father and everybody, the doll with the 6 arms. And they said that it's because the swordsmen, when they swung their sword once, it felt like they were attacking 6 times. I want to know all of those things, and I can't wait for those big reveals. So yeah, that's kind of my take, and to wrap this whole thing up.
Yeah.
All right. So, as always, guys, I'm going to give a shout out to the people on our Patreon at the party member tier or higher. Kenny, I'm going to read page 2, and you want to just take page 1?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Daft Punk does Clankface. That is an interesting name. Nova Leo, Quest, Xavier Swift, This Ain't God, This is Stanley Earl. Hanging with Epstein. My 3 chakra styles are Control, Alt, and Delete. Henry Reynolds, Red Vines, Mitchell Nelson, Vince, Dallas Bailey, KJ, How Much Media You Got, Sarah Maria, Alex Ahern, FT Campa, Edison Club, Big Bora, Grok, Sugal, Vicky Venomine, Elijah Barfall, Tal Jadeo, Volvi the Mega Monarch, the man, the myth, the legendary Hirsch, love that. Janitor 215, Joshua Carroll. Also, shout out to Hirsch. He just got top 4 at the RBET this past weekend in Denver, Colorado, which is, I believe, where he is from. Janitor 215. Joshua Carroll, Eric Chai, Wayne Bangui, Brian Moore, Dark World Emperor Tai, Gingerilla, Darling Hold My Hand, Tim Bailey Can Only Do What Freeman Can Do, Real Nika, D. Marco Santos, Mamezuku Rai, Cormac Newton, B Dog 23, Top 4 Hershey Bar. Oh, there we go. I'm Poister, Tyler Fresher, Sasha Egger, Daniel Anderson, Daroa, and then
Ask to Mattress Sleeping is Goated, Jordan Eastman, Robert Light, Casval 95, Clanger, Fantin, Andrea, HT19, Gregory Calmaring, Charles Durin, Limpitsa Jigsaw, Mike and John, Rich Silverberg, Santi, Frago, Anthony Japov, Michael Zhang, Tyler, Chris Louis, Luis Suarez, Julian Weidman, The Hopeless One, Nicholas Cook, Ian Baylor, Choo Choo Train, Raj, Chris Kemp, Golems Are People Too, Trace Kraminga, Cameron, Dark Void TG, Pearson Boyer, Ura Leok, Daniel Brando, Jackson Conrad, Shrabster, Chris Flores, Blake Smith will deep fry your Twinkie, Justin Herman, Jake Tammer, Carlos Martinez, Nakata Yuan, Chess Prime, Connor Ketchum, Nova HD, Mask 22, Joshua S, Luca Guarino, Carl Waite, Idris Hosni, and Chris Johnston.
Again, thank you guys so much for your support. We really appreciate you. As always, you do the things that make you happy, including enjoying part 1 of Demon Slayer's 3-part movie. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
So long, Gay Bowser.
So long.